Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? Let me change the name of this here. I think y'all know that already. Let me go back to that and do this. Bam. There we go. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? So we lose to the Heat. So we trade for Derrick Rose. Thank you. So we lose to the Heat. We trade for Derrick Rose. I don't feel like we had a good weekend. Right? I don't feel like we had a good weekend. The Super Bowl was rigged. Wow. Yeah. It seems like Tom Brady gets his way, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was a rough weekend, man. So we beat Portland. Why does it sound funky in here? Is that me? Hold on. The new Knicks was good. 0.5 was good. Ty Walker was good. Julian Blum was happening. Coach Colorbox was good. SJ3 was good. Iverson Vlogs was good. So we beat Portland. We lose to the Heat. We trade for Derrick Rose. So we have and Corey Lee was good. Cynic was good. Ty Walker was good. So we have an eventful weekend, to say the least, right? The Knicks have an eventful weekend. CS Hoops was good. We definitely had an eventful weekend. So the trade for D Rose, I don't know, man. The whole love triangle thing, man, I'm just not a fan. But he's here. So that's all that matters. Right? So that's all that matters. So Coach Colorbox says, Cynic, I find time, haha. I'm a night owl in general, which is why Blanche works well with my schedule. Hey, me too, man. I guess that's why we line up. Pow! What's good? Hey, yo, Pow, what's happening? Julian Blum, what's happening? The whole love triangle thing. The whole Tom Thibodeaux has a relationship with the Knicks. The Knicks have a relationship with D Rose. D Rose has a relationship with Tom Thibodeaux. The whole love triangle thing, and I know I touched on it a bit yesterday, but the whole love triangle thing, I don't know, man. I don't know what everybody's doing in this weird circle. Send Miz, what's good? Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's one of the things I want to touch on. So regardless what the rumor mill and trade mill sound like or does, Frank is a survivor. Frank Ntilikina is a survivor. Regardless what the rumor mill says, regardless who gets traded and who doesn't, Frank is a survivor. In the grand scheme of things, in the game of musical chairs, Frank is a survivor. Right? Does that mean the organization has a long-term plan for Frank? What do y'all think? Yeah, what do y'all think? Y'all think that the organization has a long-term plan for Frank? Something has to be going on for Frank to always survive. He survived the Porzingis trade. Remember that? Remember that? Remember the Porzingis trade? Remember the Porzingis trade? Remember when we were like, when we first heard the trade went down, we were like, oh man. Well, depending on how you feel about Frank, you either like, yeah, put him in the trade, or you like, oh man, Frank got traded to the Mavericks, or the Mook Morris when we were shopping Mook Morris, or when Orlando had interest in Frank, and it seemed like a trade was imminent. Man of Steel, Delano Steel was good. CP the artist was good. Danny Landis is in the building. Was good. So it seems as if Frank Ntilikina is the Teflon Don, so to speak. He is a survivor. Chuck Allen was good. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's weird. Frank survives it all. Frank has survived two front office changes, because he survived Phil and Steve Mills, right? Frank survived. Frank survives Phil Jackson and Steve Mills. Frank survived Hornacek, Fizdale, and Mike Miller. He survived all these trade scenarios, and he always survives draft day. Draft day is the day. Draft day is always the day where we wonder two things. How will we botch this up? And who will Frank Ntilikina get traded to? Right? And Frank is still here. That's strange. That's strange. Right? Frank is still here. And I know y'all love Frank. I know y'all love some Frank Ntilikina. I know y'all love some Frank Ntilikina, man. Listen. And I don't argue this thing like, no, I don't love Frank, Uncle Freezy. I'm tired of talking about Frank. Roll Brown, what's good? Al Marshall, what's good? Justin King, what's good? According to some of the conversations we used to have on Twitter, y'all love Frank. Or love the Frank topic. Let me put it that way. You may not love Frank, but you love the Frank topic. For or against. SJ3 is crazy. SJ3, okay. It's bright and early on a Monday morning in SJ3. Already? already. G, what's good? Yeah. So Frank survived it all. DSJ, on the other hand, kind of fell out of favor with us. And I'm not for sure why. DSJ never did anything bad to the Knicks fan base. DSJ never did anything bad to the fan base. Like DSJ never, got like a DUI or said something crazy to the Knicks fans. He never had like a burner account. You know what I'm saying? He never. The only thing DSJ did was suck. He sucked, right? Hey, you didn't let me get to my point, CP the artist. You didn't let me get my point. Get to my point. So Delano still says the fashion district rejects all trade offers for Frank Ntilikina, who is a 6'4" Jerome Robinson. Wow. Hey, how about a 6'4" Smokey Robinson? How about that? Yeah. So Frank survived. DSJ just sucked while he was here. Now he's gone. I don't have a feeling either way. I'm not saying I'm meh, but in the grand scheme of things, whatever. If I want him back, I can always trade for him on 2K. That's oh boy, I snuck that in because I wanted to see what y'all were gonna say. I snuck that in because I wanted to see how y'all felt about DSJ. No lie, right? So the Derrick Rose trade, D Rose coming back here. I mean, what does Derrick Rose do that is going to turn us into a championship level team? I understand the jury is still out, right? D Rose in Detroit is not going to look the same as the D Rose in New York. I understand that, right? D Rose is going to have his good nights and his bad nights. Okay, I understand that. Stepha Don, what's good? Roll Brown, I see you. David Jackson, what's good? David Jackson said Frank Ntilikina will survive James Dolan. Frank Ntilikina will survive MSG. Right. And Frank Ntilikina is a survivor, brother. So Derrick Rose, how do y'all feel about Derrick Rose? I have a feeling about him, but I want to see what y'all feel. See how y'all feel about it. Somebody put something deep in the chat for me to jump on about the Derrick Rose trade. I mean about Derrick Rose coming here. Excuse me, not just the trade details, but about us acquiring Derrick Rose, because there's a difference. I don't really need to know the trade details. I don't know if y'all really want to talk about the trade details, because it's a dude that wasn't playing and a mid-second round pick for Derrick Rose. I mean, that's it. Right. Somebody tell me something deep about how y'all feel about Derrick Rose. Right. And while y'all get y'all thoughts together, I'm gonna play this.
rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Yeah, man. So let me check the chat just to see how y'all feel about Derrick Rose coming here. Delano still says he'll probably push the tempo if Tibbs is Tibbs is looking for increasing the pace. Okay. Kev McLeod, what's good? Kev McLeod says, man, bump D Rose, man. Throw the link in the chat. Okay, I got you. There you go, brother. So Chuck Allen asks, why everyone thinks D Rose taking quick minutes. Rose is just a piece. Maybe give us 2 more wins. Yo,
what's up, my brother?
What's good? How you doing?
Hey, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Everything, it's everything.
You excited about Tampa Bay winning the Super Bowl or no? That's a different excitement.
No, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I just didn't expect that defense for Tampa Bay to be all over freaking Mahomes, man. They man. Yo, you got an ex-Giant. You got an ex-Giant and an ex-defensive coordinator from the Jets mastering beating Mahomes.
Right. No, hey, no doubt.
Yeah, so I was impressed more with the defense than calling, Brady. I mean, the number speaks for itself, man. Brady's I'm sorry. Brady is the greatest of all time.
Greatest what of all time? Greatest quarterback?
Yeah, greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say athlete. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm not gonna. Hey, CP the artist, the artist, the true artist. But no, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I mean, he has more rings than the
he's got more rings than some organizations.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. How sick do Patriot fans feel?
Now they know that Brady was carrying Belichick.
Case closed. Come on.
Yeah, because Belichick without Brady, you see what's happening.
You see. Now that's not to say if Aaron Rodgers or even Mahomes or a man from Drew Brees, if those three were in Cam Newton's shoes, if they, for the Patriots, if they would have had the same success as Brady Brady does, they probably would have been a little better. But you're right. Brady was carrying him.
And so I want to talk about. So I'm gonna get back to the Derrick Rose trade, but I do want to say this.
Yes.
I don't care if Tom Brady wins 14 Super Bowls. The greatest NFL player that I've ever seen is Lawrence Taylor. Now, people can say what they want to say about Brady. Oh, Brady is clutch and Brady this and Brady that. But when it came out to absolutely raw physical talent, coupled with production,
yeah,
I think Lawrence Taylor is the greatest player to ever breathe breath.
yeah. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. As long if you give Brady weapons, he'll go out and win you a Super Bowl. You give him weapons,
Right.
and the weapons that he had also with a great defense. I mean, that defense for the Buccaneers last night. Oh my God.
Right.
Mahomes didn't know where he's going, man. He's gonna feel it this morning.
Right.
He's going.
Right.
He's going.
I think they underestimated Tampa, and before they can right the ship, it was too late.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
The Super Bowl was rigged.
Say again.
The Super Bowl was rigged.
Oh God, here we go.
oh man, come on.
Man.
Come on.
Come
The Super Bowl was rigged.
Hey, you guys want to know the funniest moment in the Super Bowl?
What's that? Okay.
Wait, hold on. It's not. Is it not playing? Can you guys not hear it? Could you guys not hear it?
I can't hear nothing.
No, we can't do that. Nah, we can't do that. We ain't about to start playing audio. You ain't ready to get me pulled down. You crazy.
Exactly.
You guys know that dude?
That's the Warriors fan. From you remember him from right when our West Coast trip started.
Yes.
He jumped in a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Rose, man. I'm sorry.
So let me do this real quick. Brian Williford says, not that Tibbs has Rose. Now that Tibbs has Rose and Taj, the big trade at the deadline for us will be for Cat and Nkogi, in my honest opinion. Mitch, Knox, Frank, Rivers, and 1 and 2 picks.
Hell no.
No, I don't see.
No.
Hell no.
I don't see that one, Mr. Williford.
You know what's funny? No one ever was talking about this, and we still have Joakim Noah under contract.
Yes.
He's our third highest. He's our third highest paid player.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phil.
He could just come on. He could just suit up right now. You know what I mean? Now we got Derrick Rose. What's Lou Aldang doing?
Yeah, hey man. CP the artist just brought something to my attention and it makes me laugh. So we're basically assembling the old Chicago Bulls is what he's getting at.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I
absolutely hate that trade. And here's my reason why. I don't think it really improves the team because we know Derrick can't shoot. Derrick is a step slow. Derrick got mental issues. Unless this is a move to cut Alfred Payton, I don't see what you're going to do with 3 point guards now. There's already a logjam at point guard, in my opinion. Logjamming meaning that we have one that shouldn't be playing in the starting lineup. So now you make this trade, you give up a pick for a guy on a expiring contract. When does he play, and what does this do for IQ?
Okay, 3 things with that. One, I don't believe it's going to take minutes away from IQ. As a matter of fact, I think it will improve IQ's performance as well as the other guys on the bench, because now you have a guard that will actually make himself a threat and give the ball up to whoever's open. He can now penetrate. 2, even though it was starting to work now, I believe that
So you're saying that the IQ is not going to be the second team point guard. He's going to move to the 2. I believe that it can
that either one of them can alternate going back and forth, being the facilitator. That's what now CP, I'll say this, but you and I know that until we actually see it, we don't know what's going to happen. We think that, that can happen, but we actually have to see it.
Right.
Like I thought that Rivers was going to be, real good for us. And it turns out it was the other way around.
Right.
So again, we just have to see, how it materializes. Two, I think that he can break that zone more than what Alfred's doing. Now, I will say that we've been handling the zone a little bit better. I mean, it wasn't like that yesterday because Miami was just throwing those, those traps, left and right on us. I believe that with Derrick Rose, he can break those traps for us and break that zone for us, a lot better. And what else?
Knees?
Well, another thing you were saying, you were talking about his shooting. His shooting has improved. He can't jam it like like we've been seeing him do. But as far as him shooting the jump shot, that's where he has improved at. And I think, and here's another thing of what Freezy was saying when he was talking about how we have dead money on our roster. That's not giving us anything. Now you've just shut off. I think it was like 18 million. Now you only have 12 million in Frank and Knox not playing. And now you have a player that's going to give give you positive minutes and then give you production. So that was another thing that I was looking at. And who knows? I'm hearing that, and Freezy brought this up last night. Some playoff teams are interested in Alfred Payton. Yeah, they're interested in Alfred Payton. How true that is, we don't know. But if it is true, then you could see, I don't know. We'll talk about that some other time. But you could see IQ either, finally getting the wish to start, or letting Rose start and not getting as many minutes as Rivers is. And then we'll just throw someone else into that guard role, to help out that second unit. So maybe Frank might fit in there. You never know. We don't know. We don't know. I just see this as a positive, getting Rose here, and not unfortunately, but shipping, DSJ out, because now you have a piece that can that will actually play and give you minutes and give you production. So that's one way, of looking at it. Pretty much, I don't believe that it's going to take away the minutes or the development.
With this trade, Frank is never playing.
Right. Well, yeah, but we don't know. We don't know. You're probably right. So again,
no. I'm stealing my Capricorn energy from Ashley Nicole Moss again.
Yeah.
But if it walks like a duck,
if it looks like a duck, it must be a duck.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll throw somebody else in there. Maybe it'll be Burks that will, stay in there. Maybe Knox will get in. Maybe the two.
No, not.
Okay, all right. Then they'll throw somebody else. Then they'll throw somebody else in there.
We definitely don't want to turn this into the
no, hell no, heck no.
No.
I'm gonna hit you up real quick, Freezy, when I get this next point. I don't think it's going to take away from what IQ is doing. I think IQ's progression is going to keep going up steadily, and that's pretty much it.
Freeze,
sir.
Say what you're thinking, man.
I'm a blank slate with this, and I'll be honest with you. The reason why I'm a blank slate with it is because I don't want to rush to judgment, even though history tells us this has the makings of a grease fire, right?
Exactly.
So you have you have a big pile of garbage, so you have a bunch of kindling. It's super hot outside, you know what I'm saying? So you have the flame already going in Tom Thibodeaux. Yep. This has the makings of a disaster, right? But I don't want to call it that, right? Hey, Stephen Fox was good. Bricks Nation was good. I see you. App Trader was good. Was good. Hey, Chase Stacks, what's happening? I see you. Yeah, this has the makings, Kev. This has Hadoken Sharon, what's good? This has the makings of us walking backwards from the progress that we made. Because think about this, if Derrick Rose comes here and it's the Derrick Rose that walked out the door the first time, see, when he walked out the door the first time, it was a bunch of random veterans that were trying to establish themselves. Now you have a whole bunch of kids you can impact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like why you treating D Rose like that? Why D Rose don't have to practice, Tibbs? Tibbs, you said we have to earn this thing in practice. Why Rose don't have to practice? Why does Derrick Rose get to go home on an off day or a day we get to practice?
Yeah.
And every mistake I make, you pull me out of the game and diminish my minutes.
And
Tibbs.
another thing that we are forgetting is Derrick is going to play probably immediately to get his reps and get the chemistry down with his new teammates.
Yeah.
And the only way you get that is by playing him more and more minutes. So it's like, I don't see, to Kev's point that he's trying to make, if you have, where do you place Derrick Rose? If he's if he can't be a starter because he hasn't earned that yet. So he
no, not at all. Absolutely.
Lineup.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So he has to be in the second lineup.
Right.
He's not a great shooting guard.
Right.
So you can't put. So okay. All right. Now we're gonna put IQ to the shooting guard. Okay. Now he has to guard guys that are taller than him and will expose him on the defensive. And plus, now you have two smaller guards. I consider.
Well, how tall is Rivers? How tall is Rivers?
Well, you can't play Rivers now.
No. I'm just saying. No. What I'm saying is, when you say you have two small, 6'5", and what's Rose?
6'2", 6'3".
6'2". Yeah.
Okay, so he had some inches off him. Okay, no,
but
I'm just trying to understand.
Derrick Rose is stockily built though. Like Rose has some girth to him.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is that when you had Rivers and you had Quickly, both of them were pretty much facilitating, the whole thing. Even though I think Quickly was trying to facilitate more than what Rivers was.
What is your second unit lineup?
Oh, my second unit lineup is Rose, Quickly, Burks, Obi, and
Noel or
Noel.
Taj.
I cannot. I wouldn't mind putting Taj in there because what he did yesterday, OMG. Yeah, OMG.
Man.
Your twin brother put more effort yesterday than what we saw Noel do all season.
So Kev, let me just tell you this funny thing real quick before we get back to D Rose. So a lady walked me down yesterday, right?
Okay.
Sir. So I'm looking around, and I look around and I'm like, ma'am. And she says, has anybody ever told you, mind you, I don't know this lady, just random lady off the street, walks me down, sir, just trying to get my attention. I'm like, I know this lady ain't calling me. I'm in a rush, man. I'm trying to get, So she says, has anybody ever told you that you look like Heavy D?
Yes.
And so Kev, right? So I have heard this before, right? I have heard this before, right? No lie, I've heard it before, right? But for entertainment value, I say, who? And she says, Heavy D, you know, the rap guy.
Yeah.
And so I say, I look like a rapper? And she says, yes, Heavy D. Y'all are built the same and y'all almost dressed alike. So I'm like, ma'am, you said, do you think I look like Heavy D? She said, yes, you're tall just like him. And I was like, the rap guy, Heavy D. And she says, yes, I'm telling you, you're like a spitting image of Heavy D, right?
Hold on a second.
So I tell the lady, I'm like, you mean the guy that said the diggity D? And she says, you heard it before. And I'm like, yeah, I heard it before. I heard it like a million times. So when Taj Gibson told me just now that he looks like CP the artist, I was like, yo, let me tell Kev what this lady told me just now. So shout out
CP the artist said.
So shout out everybody, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Knicks power forward, Taj Gibson. Mr. Gibson, did anybody ever tell you that you look like this guy, CP the artist?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. He's one of my idols.
I was hoping the lady said that you look like Red Fox, but even though you didn't have the glasses on. Hey, Mo, hey, wow. What's going on?
Mo, what's good, Mo? Yeah, Mo. Boy. Yeah, Mo, she ran me down and was like, sir, did anybody ever tell you look like that rapper Heavy D? And I'm like, oh my God. Really, lady?
First of all, if you're light skinned with a bald head and a beard, you look like everybody.
Yeah.
You look like everybody. I got Common, I get Joe Button.
I get Sinbad. People like, yo, you look just like Sinbad.
No.
Okay. I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on, man. Really, Sinbad?
That is ridiculous.
I look like a black ginger. Really?
No. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Sinbad. Now I know I walk like Sinbad, right? I know I
well, I haven't seen you walk, so I'm not.
So any tall dude with a butt is gonna be Sinbad or Charles Barkley. That's just what it is. Yeah, that's just what it is. I can't. Yeah, it is what it is. Pause, please. Pause. Pause.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah. So the lady basically ran me down and conversated with me about who I look like. So she says, Heavy D, right? And when I was younger, I used to get, when I had hair, definitely people just used to run me down. Like when I was like in my early 40s, I used to get it all the time, like late 30s, early 40s. But anyway,
I have to ask this: when you had the flat top, who do people compare you to?
They used to be like, "Yo, we got our own thing." Yeah, that's you. In Jersey City. Dog.
Hey, did you used to wear the gazelle shades like he did? You know what I'm saying, to capitalize off the look?
Yo, I didn't have to. That was the look. That was the look. He was a nobody. Hey, Kev, if you thought the reading glasses were hilarious, the gazelles. Yes,
the gazelles.
Yes. Word. Yeah, it was.
So this guy Robert Kahn, he said you look like Mike Wilpon from ESPN.
Oh no!
Wow!
Oh no! Come on, man! You're killing me, Mike Wilpon.
Hey, he ain't too shabby.
You be calling people knuckleheads behind the camera, huh?
Yeah, right. You're right, man.
Somebody said Freezy Wilpon.
Oh wow, Wilpon, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
I get stopped, man. People run me down like, hey, do you know who you look like? And I'm like, no. And so what it is when you have a sense of humor, you kind of play along with it. Yeah. And so people will say, hey, you look like Heavy D. Like one time, hey man, listen, I was uptown, and dude was like, heavy D, heavy D, heavy D, and I'm like, and then I'm like, heavy D, who is that? And you know it.
First of all, he's dead. You shouldn't be screaming out heavy D if he's dead.
Right. Respect my man. So, but yeah, I mean, I get that a lot. Like and sometimes I get like somebody will stop me and start talking to me like they know me.
Like
right?
they know you, right?
Right. They're talking like, and I texted you, and you ain't even brought your kids over here to the house. You know, we was outside in the yard all day. Them kids was outside with them water balloons and stuff waiting for y'all to show up. And I'm like, really?
Water balloons.
Yes. I'm talking about CP. I'm talking about random conversations. And then I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, I thought you were Sharon cousin. No, I'm not Sharon cousin.
Yo, ain't mistaken identity the most scariest thing in today's time, especially as black men?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Somebody was like, "Oh, I thought you was my cousin." I'm like,
right.
Hey, CP, I'll give you a good one. My brother-in-law swears that I'm CeeLo.
Who?
CeeLo. I'm like, really? CeeLo. I'm like,
capitalize, Sam. You should do that right there on the spot.
Oh my God.
I'm like, really? I call him Ice-T. He calls me CeeLo. I'm like, all right, whatever. Man.
I got to meet him one time. That is like one of the strangest dudes I ever. The dude, no lie.
I bet.
So me and my cousin, so we're just standing in this awkward spot.
Green, okay.
Yeah, so we're standing in this awkward setting. Like he's supposed to be somewhere, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. We're stuck in this place. Me and my cousin Gigi, right? And I look at Gigi. I'm like, yo, that's CeeLo Green right there. And Gigi is like, he probably think you heavy D, right? Right. And so I look. I'm like, dog, this dude has a half a jar of Vaseline on his face. I swear to God. I look at CeeLo. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he like, and he like, man, I know you. And I'm like, CeeLo Green, you do not know me. Don't start this. You don't know me. You better not start that weird heavy D conversation that I get once a week, right? And the same thing, and no lie. So the same thing happens with me and this guy. He used to play running back for Auburn, and he wound up playing running back for the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. A dude named Stephen Davis. You know, he has a car lot, right? You know what I'm saying, selling cars, whatever. And he walks up on me. He's like, big boy, I know you. And I'm like, and because back in the day, back when you no lie, when you like 6'5", you know what I'm saying? Like you like 6'5", 6'6", everybody assumes that you're a former athlete. I don't know if you ever been through that or not, right? But I'm like, you know, 6'5", like 6'5". About 350. The dude looks at me and like,
maybe
I know you.
Republic.
right.
Hey, Taj, get him.
Right.
Taj, get
right. And so my man was like, I know you, and I'm like, nah, dog, you don't know me. I mean, I know you, I know who you are, but you don't know me. And he was like, I know you. You used to play for, and I'm like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. But you know what? And so
I will say this. When I used to live in Jersey, there was two athletes I got confused by. One was Vince Carter. And the other one was Stephon Marbury.
Really?
I was in Walmart. This lady kept on looking back. I was like, what's she looking at? And she said to me, are you Vince Carter?
Wow.
Hey, how tall are you, CP?
Wow.
Are you?
I'm 6'6".
Oh, okay.
6'6".
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Because what happens is when I'm so I'm like like 6'5", some change, whatever. But when I put shoes on, dog, I swear people look at me as if I'm Andre the Giant, and I'm not. Yes, I'm telling you. When people see when if you're 6'5", 6'6", and you put shoes on, dog, you are so much taller than the average person that they assume that you can't be just a regular person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Now
so
it makes sense. It makes sense why Steph got that tattoo on the side of his head. He said, "I'm tired of people confusing me with CP the artist."
right. So I'm gonna put a number on my head.
I don't get mistaken for people much, but like I like so ever since Frank got drafted, this is weird, but ever since Frank got drafted, like I didn't have facial hair, so like I always had a desire to be mistaken for Frank Ntilikina by someone. So one day, hopefully, I don't know.
Hey, so okay,
can
somebody put?
Hey, don't put my hope down, all right?
I'm breaking your heart like you broke mine against Chuck this Saturday.
All right, look,
yeah.
All right, move on.
Yeah.
That's what we do in life.
Hey, so Mo did barely lose to Chuck B Saturday night. He barely lost because Chuck B and so we're referring to the Lawrence Tears debate league. The debate between Mo and Chuck B. Chuck B dug his own grave, but was lucky enough to wiggle out because I asked a question, and the first thing he did was speak to the opposite of the question, and so he gave Mo that round, and then he won round 3. But you know, I'm one. If you want to,
what I will say is that like I need to prepare better. If we're gonna keep that format, like I need to have like I feel like it's better to have like prepared like speeches, kind of like you need to have like kind of bullet points like ready to go. Because like I feel like every time I start these rounds, I'm just like, all right, let's go for my emotion. Whatever my heart tells me to do, I'm gonna say. So yeah, I mean, look, like it was fun. It was definitely fun. I enjoyed it. It was something to do on a Saturday. So
I gotta watch this. Where can I find it?
So we do right here on this channel. What we do on some Saturday nights, we have the Lawrence Tears Debate League, and what happens is you know we basically debate each other. Then we give a debate topic, and then we close out with a wrap up. You know what you've heard from the opponent, what the chat says, answer. You know, expounding on a question. And the winner of 2 out of the 3 rounds wins the debate. And we have a Lawrence Tears debate ranking system. And so we have rankings and everything. So what happened is it started off as a whole bunch of people talking all over each other. And so that doesn't make for good listening. It doesn't. The experience for the listener is compromised. So instead of having people talk all over each other, I just pause everybody and then have these 2 people debate. And the fans, and not just the fans, but the chat loved it so much that we turned it into a debate league with rankings and everything else. And now people tune in just for that. Like the league is at 15 people now, and they legit want to go at each other and debate and rise up the rankings and such. And I know it's a original format to YouTube or whatever, but I mean it's what we do. We our family here, we try to give everybody what they want, basically, and at the same time try to make sure that we put out a quality product.
But some cats can't accept losing.
Right. Well, I mean that's life. That's life.
They'll swear up and down that they won when they really didn't.
Right.
So one thing I'll say is that like on this platform, you can like choose like what path you want to take.
Yeah.
And I feel like, taking the like I'm the debate challenge guy is not like it's not me, but I love it. Like I want to like continue to search that.
Yeah.
I want to be in the culture, like this culture conversation that you guys have. Ooh, I look like Heavy D, or I want to be I'm not in that like kind of corner of the Lawrence Tears family.
Right. Right. So and no doubt. So the family is growing so much that what we want to do is showcase people with potential, like like for instance, CP the artist has a voice like Kev W. Y'all know Kev W at night, right? Like even when they speak to a certain point, their voice is like one of those like of an FM DJ, and I say that respectfully, right? I say that respectfully,
Yeah.
right? Go ahead, Kev.
No, what I was going to say respectfully, I can't believe anything that Kevin Wright says. When he said that we were going to be in purgatory with Tom Thibodeaux as our coach, I lost it. I said, "Oh my God!" I'm Uncle Freeze. I had to shut it off, man. I had to shut it off.
Wait, but didn't he also say Tibbs is doing a good job?
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it.
Right, he did say that, but it was a backtrack off or a contradiction of a previous stance, and that's why that take that he made was unpopular. Because for like 2 months he said Tibbs sucked, and then it seemed as if he said Tibbs did a good job just to get votes from the chat.
He lost me altogether. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, though. It's to your advantage to be a little bit flexible, because sometimes you'll be on a position that's so wrong. To keep that position, you look like an idiot. You know what I mean? Right. It's like I told you the last time I was on. I was like, yeah, I mistakenly wanted to trade RJ Barrett for Bradley Beal, and then but after emotions calmed down and logic went up, I was like, you know what? That was a dumb idea. You can't stay on that position, because the ebb and flow of life is always going to change. This is a long season, and things are going to end up changing. So you have to adjust your position and be man enough to. It's always going to change.
Got some feedback. Somebody's got some feedback.
Oh, he got it. Free Keith got it.
Okay.
But so I want to say salute to Delano Steele and Chuck Allen. Salute to Free Keith.
Salute.
A salute to Spree the Nick. I see you. I see y'all. Elton Lee. What's good? 0.5. I probably shouted you out a whole bunch of times. Ghetto intellect. What's good? What's good? So speaking of purgatory, I wanted to get back onto this Tom Thibodeaux, Derrick Rose, and
when
New York
he
Knicks.
said that, I'm sorry, Uncle. When he said that, I was like, "Yo, where are you getting it? After what we've been through for the last 5 years? We're finally at a place of getting respectability, and we're still in purgatory. That's gonna come out your mouth, really?"
Well, no. Actually, I will side with that, because purgatory is between heaven and hell,
right?
Quote unquote, right?
Right.
And that's a good analogy, because sometimes we're barely at 500. So we are in purgatory.
Right.
We're not that great,
CP.
and we're not that bad.
Right.
We're right there in the middle.
Well, I think purgatory also implies that like you're gonna be there for as long as Tom Thibodeaux is gonna be here. And I think it's misleading to say that Tom Thibodeaux is not gonna lead us to an elite status.
Right. No, the concept of purgatory is there's going to be somebody that's going to either pray you out, you're going to get to heaven, or you're going to go the other way, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's like, and I believe, and I kind of see in the terms of the word purgatory, we could only either go down or we could only go up, and I think that's where we're at right now, because I feel like the Derrick Rose trade, I think that brought us down a little bit. That's just my position. But like Freezy, like you said, let's wait and see. But I just don't know. But I believe we are one more move to be better in getting to the promised land.
So how many games do you give Rose if it was how many games do you give him to see if we're successful or not? For you to say, okay, I can see this was a good trade.
In my personal opinion, you have to give Tom Thibodeaux this first year without judgment, Right.
Absolutely, because if we can do the same thing with Fizdale, Hornacek, Derek Fisher, yeah,
Kurt Rambis.
Oh God,
that'll be virtually impossible because nobody gave any of those guys a year on without judgment.
Did you need a year? Look at their record.
No,
Yeah.
but within the path of them getting that record, they were very much criticized and judged.
Right, and we judged the whole.
I'm saying that. Look at Kurt Rambis with the Minnesota Timberwolves as a head coach. What was his record?
I don't remember, but it was losing.
It was.
Right?
He's got the worst record in Timberwolves history.
Yeah.
And he had the worst record in NBA history until we signed David Fizdale. So what does that tell you about the Knicks hiring?
It was bad.
It was
bad. Yeah.
Right. He had the worst.
And he didn't need a year to figure that out. You knew from the jump. It was bad.
And what's our record now?
Hold on.
Our record now is we are 11-14, I think.
11-14.
Yeah,
3 games under 500. Last time I checked years ago,
that's still 8th place in the East.
Say again?
That's still 8th place in the East.
Right. Last time, years ago, from last year to whenever, we'd be like maybe 7 or 8 games below 500.
We'd be in the midst of like a 7-game loss streak right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and not only that, but looking terrible the whole way.
Looking terrible.
You know what I'm saying? Not even close games. Like the game we lost last year to Memphis. We were saying Mike Miller, play the kids, because we were looking terrible, low energy, low chemistry.
Because that's what happens when cats go into games like expecting themselves to lose.
Right, and they want to just get theirs.
And that's what y'all wanted these youth to get used to.
Right. And so last year going into the, I'm just finishing.
You're gonna read that. Yeah, exactly.
So last year going into the Memphis game, you can tell all the fits were clunky. The coaching staff was duct taped together. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes, you know what I'm saying, was feeling kind of shady against each other. Because to be honest with you, the best basketball mind out of all the assistant coaches was Caleb Canales, right? But you give Mike Miller the job, right? Caleb Canales was there. Caleb Canales was on coaching staff that developed guards like Damian Lillard. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes, Damian Lillard would have been great without Caleb Canales, but Caleb Canales at least helped steer the boat. You know what I'm saying? Didn't turn it into a terrible pick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Knicks fans, like Knicks coaching staffs have done, right? But you give Mike Miller the job on the strength that he developed Trey Burke. Is that what the reason why he got the job? Because he developed Trey Burke means he can help develop Kevin Knox and the other youth. That was to me that was terrible.
Was that the only player he like? Didn't he have a winning record in the G League?
I think they won the G League championship, right? Did they win the G League championship?
So that implies more than just developing one player, bro. Like I think he's being a little bit too you're being a little disingenuous right now. Like
no, and well, I won't say disingenuous. I'll say hard.
It's more than just developing. He's a good coach, bro. He's probably the only of our last coaches that still has a job in the league.
And the other thing,
he trash.
Well, okay, well, Uncle Fred,
but let me finish the thing with Memphis.
Right, go ahead,
I'll finish the thing with Memphis, and then I get out of the way. But the thing with Memphis is so we go into that game with low energy, no chemistry, coaching staff held together with chewing gum, right? and Memphis jumps out on us, jumps out on the veterans, right? And they get like a 16-point lead. Mike Miller is like, oh boy, let me bring in these kids. He bring in the kids cut the lead to 7. He snatched the kids out before they can cut it to 5. Put the vets back in, and the lead balloons back to 14. Right? And the vets are looking like, man, I'm going to just throw up some shots. He put the kids back in, and we cut the lead to 6. And it's an NBA TV game, right? NBA TV never plays teams that suck like us, but we wind up on NBA TV, right? So our kids are shining. Right, and every time they cut the lead, he brings the veterans back in. The vets are like, "I'm ready," and they go back in, and the lead balloons out of control.
Was that the game when Alfred went off? Was trying to go up against Crowder? Was that? Was that that game?
Kev, let me finish. I'm
asking.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So anyway, we get blown out, right? We're getting blown out. At the end of the game, the Knicks throw in a lazy pass that basically typified what you saw all game. Jay Crowder steals the ball. Right, steals the ball and runs to the corner, and he wasn't even gonna shoot. But the Knicks look at him in the corner. Alfred Payton is jogging out to the corner, like, yeah, you know. And then Crowder starts to shoot. Right, he like, if you ain't gonna come out here and guard me, you forcing my hand. So Crowder shoots, and Alfred Payton does the one thing nobody wants to see another basketball player do. He shoved my man while he in midair. Good. You know what I'm saying? That was a classless move. That was a classless move.
No, it wasn't. Hell no. Heck no. No, it wasn't. Yeah. End of the game. End of the game, man. No, heck no.
No,
I was swung too.
But nah, Kev, at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game you already lost.
Game, man.
It's a game you already lost.
Yeah, but come on, nobody wants their face. Nobody wants their face rubbed in it.
Well, you know what?
I'm kind of shocked at you, Uncle Freezy, that you would take that stance like that. I don't know, like you seem to be somebody big on sportsmanship, and you know that's not cool.
Sportsmanship on what side?
It's national, cool. It's a national game, bro. Like, so what? You trying to really embarrass me? Like, come on, son. Like, come on.
We embarrass ourselves.
It's rules to the game, bro. It's rules. That's the same equivalent to stepping over somebody when you make a shot, bro. Yeah. You step over. I mean, you ain't hurt them. You ain't kicked them or nothing like that. But you know that's against the rules, bro.
Mario Sonia stepping over.
You're doing it.
I'm gonna do whatever. If you can't stop me,
you know that. Like that's
how many people have played a game, right? Your emotions is high, like your testosterone is going. And somebody do something disrespectful on the court, it's over. It's over with. I'm forgetting about base. I'm forgetting about playing. I'm forgetting about church. I'm forgetting about my reputation, man. Like it is on. There was one thing. Alfred Payton's illustrious, terrible career as a Knick. That is the one moment I was like, you did a good thing.
He had more than one of those, though. He had more than one of them tough moments. Like, I think, like, people don't be really kind of respecting Elf because he's, like, soft-spoken. Like, but he's no pushover.
No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah. I'm really getting frustrated with Free Keith defending Alfred Payton at every turn.
You brought him up.
Man, are you an Elfer?
Wow.
Are you an Elfer?
Wait, say wow.
I need to know this. I need to know these things so I won't be offensive.
You trying real hard, Freeze. So I'm gonna let you go ahead with that. I don't even know what direction it's going. I'm gonna let you go ahead and ride with that.
They be pushing them buttons.
No. Listen. Wow. So my man said so when I call Alfred Payton classless for pushing a dude that's already in the air, that's a cheap shot to me, right? And so whether the cheap shot is justified, it's still a cheap shot. You know what I'm saying? My thing is if you were that into the rules of the game, man, how about respect the game and play the game hard? Don't come out here with all this fake energy. You know what I'm saying? It just rubbed me. And then with Alfred, not with Alfred, but when Marcus Morris said after in the pregame press conference.
I loved it.
Jay Crowder showed female tendencies.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Y'all
that tough. How about show it on the court, man? Come on, don't be a press conference bully, man. Come on, Mook Morris. Don't be a press conference bully. You had all that energy.
Marcus and Marquise are that tough, bro.
Yeah,
no real talk. They that tough.
They kidnapped the dude who was hollering at their mom.
Yeah, I know.
Like they are about a different kind of real life than most of us are about, bro.
We can talk a lot. Those two twins from Philadelphia.
I know.
They're not.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure you said it right there. You call them press conference tough. Freezy, I promise you, they will put somebody in the body bag. I know them. And
anybody in the NBA, I would not really.
And I know, and Freezy, no cap. And Freezy, no cap. I know them personally.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yo, yeah, I feel like them the kind of dudes that Cats is lucky that they millionaire.
Right.
Dude, them dudes are nuts, yo. Like
hey, and you know what though? It takes a certain type of sociopath to tattoo your body the same exact way as another person.
Yeah.
Right. It takes a it takes a certain level of sociopath to do that, so people can't tell y'all apart. It's one thing dressing alike when you're identical twins. It's another thing getting the exact same tattoo by the exact same person. You know what I'm saying? So people can't tell you apart.
Here's the thing, though. We all, as Knicks fans, we grow up on goons. As much as Charles Oakley missed 1,000 layups, right? We loved him for his toughness. Mason,
Mason
Xavier McDaniels.
Right. Anthony Bonner. Don't forget Anthony Bonner.
Mason probably had the illest handle for a big man y'all ever seen in y'all life.
Ever. My point is that we love toughness, and we always like there was when Kenya Martin came on the Knicks.
Yeah,
I felt it was like 10 years too late. You know what I'm saying? I always loved Kenyon and his attitude, but he was a cheap shot artist too. Remember where he somebody went? It was Karl Malone, and he just snuck him.
Yeah,
he just snuck him.
What about Greg Anthony going after Kevin Johnson?
Right.
You know how tough you got to be to make it 2 feet of snow.
Handcuffs for today.
No.
Wow, G.I. Wow.
That makes us different. That snow makes us different.
Nah, but there's 2 different kinds of Knicks fans, and I don't like. You got to kind of like. You gotta break it down a little bit. Like, there's 2 different kinds of Knicks fans. There's Knicks fans who are from New York.
Yeah.
And then there are Knicks fans who are just in the world. It's not even from New York. They just fans of basketball, fans of the Knicks. The fans from New York, which are the heart of the Knicks fan base, are the ones who respect the toughness.
A Free Keith, Knicks fans from New York know about the cage.
because it's because of New York, we want to we kind of respect the toughness.
Mm-hmm.
It's normally, at least in my experience, like fans who are not from New York who like speak to certain things, who don't appreciate like the attitude that a Mook brings to the team.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They will gloss over that. They'll gloss over like what that kind of texture, why that's necessary here. Like everybody trying to come in our house and disrespect us.
Right.
But like, if you never hold up. If you had never played a pickup game where somebody brought out a knife or a gun, you didn't play no basketball ever. So, so for
you're from New York.
I'm from Jersey, and I've been in games. Listen, time out. I was in a league game, right? And there was a fight broke out between us and these dudes from Long Branch. All of a sudden, this dude, out of his jersey, out of his trunks, brought out a blade. And we were like, he was playing the whole game with a blade.
Right. Like, dog,
blade, right?
Yeah. What if y'all found him hard? He'd have stabbed himself. Place go, Burris.
He would cut an artery or something like that. So it's like when you grow up with that type of like feel, like anything can happen. When you're watching a professional Knicks game, you're like, what Alfred Payton did, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
We've been through bad.
In fact, it makes
we've
you
been
smile
through
a
bad
little
sportsmanship.
bit. It makes you smile a little bit because you know how soft the league is now. So like any one of them little joints kind of like it kind of pushes me it pushes the right buttons in my soul a little bit.
Like I
Hey,
didn't.
Keith, I'm gonna tell you something though. Where you messed up at is you alluded to the fact that you appreciate that toughness and all that from Alfred Payton, but you know what else you got from that '90s Knicks, all them goons and all that stuff. You got toughness. You got effort every single time. Nobody was blowing us out by 16 points. Nobody was flipping water bottles on us back in the day. We wasn't getting all that. So you can't excuse Alfred Payton's "I'm gonna be tough for this 2 minutes" when you was getting
No, you can't blame a whole culture on one cat though. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
The whole team had that tough culture back then.
I'm only saying it because you celebrated.
Y'all celebrate cats like Frank. He a supermodel. He ain't tough. He ain't tough.
Hold up. We talking about Frank?
No, we're just talking about in general. And so like when I think tough, man, I think about Truck Robinson, right? I think about Truck Robinson, right? So no lie, Dr. J came to the hole, right? Dr. J had dunked on, and this is and so y'all may not remember, but our arch rival used to be the Philadelphia 76ers, right? And so we used to beat them often, and they used to get frustrated that we used to beat them, but then they flipped the switch and got good. It was like at the same time they got Dr. J and some other players, they flipped the switch and they turned the tables on us, where they were the ones that were good and we were not, right? And so what they used to do, like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they'd be up by 27. What they would do is tap rebounds out and try to put on dunk shows on us, right? Getting the open floor and do they reverse dunks, right? Dunk backwards. That was something awesome back in the day before we even knew, cats could do that, right? So I think we're they not beating us too bad. They only beating us by like 25. And Dr. J and the dude tips the ball out to Dr. J, and Dr. J takes off for a dunk, right? And Truck Robinson out of nowhere, Jamal Adams, Dr. J, right? And you can see Dr. J chain pop off his neck. This is back in the day when you could wear jewelry. Yeah. You could see Dr. J herringbone snap and go sliding across the floor. And Dr. J jumped up and he was like, "Who's at the head?" And he saw Truck Robinson. And Dr. J was like, "Hey man, I was just playing, dog. What's happening?" You know what I'm saying? I was just playing, Chuck. I didn't know that was you. What you doing back here? And the Sixers ran down there to come to Dr. J defense, and then Truck Robinson was down there by himself with like 6 Philadelphia 76ers, right? And them dudes was like, "Hey, good hustle, Truck. Good hustle." Had that been Darryl Walker or anybody else on the Knicks, dog, I'm telling you, they would have power drive anybody else. But Truck Robinson was like that. Y'all think Oakley was that guy? Truck Robinson was that guy before Oakley. And Truck Robinson, there was a time we had Truck Robinson and Buck Williams. I saw a dude jumped on Buck Williams' back. Buck Williams held him in the air with one hand, like, "You ever do that again?" And he had the other ball, the basketball in his hand, trying to finish his layup. He threw the dude on the ground. The referee was like, "Hey, Buck, would you get? Oh, I'm sorry." He was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Williams. I swear I didn't know it was you." So we used to have goons like that before Oakley. And what happened is those guys got old and retired. And then you saw them bring in Oakley to be that guy later on, right? But Oakley was about 50% of Truck Robinson, bro. I'm telling you. You think Oakley fouled you hard and wanted to fight you? Truck Robinson didn't even have to foul you hard and he wanted to fight you. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to sound like it's a Knicks history class, but what I'm getting at is this culture is not just, it didn't just start at Mook Morris last year. It's one that goes back a long way. You can look at the Knicks timeline and point out the goon. Even when we had Kurt, y'all remember Kurt Thomas?
Mm-hmm. Kurt who?
Yeah.
When Kurt Thomas fouled Karl Malone so hard one time, I swear I thought Karl Malone was gonna do something, and he didn't. Karl Malone looked at Kurt Thomas and was like, "Man, it's you, Kurt. I'm sorry, man." I thought he said Carl Thomas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you know what though? But the thing about it is I think we need to get away from embracing that and start embracing modern NBA basketball. And I think if we do that, then we'll turn the curve, start stemming the tide, and start winning. And I know Free Keith don't want to hear that, but I think until we do, we're going to be exactly where we are.
No, Can I?
Go ahead.
I'm a big proponent of spirit, bro. Like, that's a part of the pie. That's a part of the pie. Like, I feel like we got individuals who exhibit certain things, but the general team spirit isn't about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just having a back and forth with some of these guys on the comment thread, and I'm like, that toughness. When I say like, like those little, like we can point out those tough actions that we did, like like Frank pushed LeBron, little tough action. And you know what I'm saying? Elf did that, whatever, with Jay Crowder, a little tough action. But, like, we don't know our team to be a tough team. Our team ain't tough. Like, we get individuals who might be tough, and so those moments stand out. They flashpoint.
Right.
And we poo-poo on guys like Mook or even Beasley or just that who just have a don't fuck with me-ness around them. My right. Apologies. We need that. We need cats that, like, win or lose, you look me in my eye, you ain't gonna disrespect me. We need that spirit. We not gonna win until we get that spirit back. And Randall and RJ, good proponents for it. They're good proponents to lead that spirit back, because I don't really see a lot of people that want to have that goon hand dropped on them.
And one thing that this current roster is missing is that crazy guy. We missing that one crazy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that one crazy guy to make it all right.
It's like a town. Like, we need our individual pieces. We need the town drunk. Yeah. We don't got the full town yet.
So you're saying we don't have a bugging out from Sunset Park? So that's what we need to go.
No, we don't have that. We don't have that. And you know what?
Or he needs to spread, or to flourish, or maybe there is a crazy guy there. Maybe IQ is low key nuts. I hope so, actually.
Right. I think Mitch is low key.
Or maybe Mitch.
Mitch
I always thought he was a little bit special.
Yeah.
Hey, you go through 7 agents. Yeah, he's special.
The old folks used to say, "That baby touched."
You touched. From that first interview, he looked hella awkward. Like, something wrong with this guy.
Mitch is special, man. Hey, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. We can't play light skin.
Oh well,
we can't play light skin.
No.
You know when the Golden State Warriors, everybody was scared against the Golden State Warriors, but when they went up against a team that was gonna step to their light skinned behinds, it was like, it turned into
the Draymond show. It turned into the Draymond show. Draymond.
Gibson light skin though. He's tough.
He's tough. Clay, yo.
Hey, Taj Gibson.
I'll tell you one thing. I respect the hell out of Clay, yo.
Taj Gibson
on that court with no ACL, you know, like that.
Right.
Like, I'm good. I'm walk it off. Walk it off, bro. You snap that thing. Like, yo,
how you tore his ACL and shot free throws
in pain? Like, what's going on?
My man tore his ACL and went to the line and shot his free throws. That's crazy.
It's the finals, bro.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But you
God
know what?
has to intervene for them to lose that finals.
Right. I mean, right. Hey, you know what? You have a point. But let me ask you this. So is that because the Knicks have the number 1 defense, right? Is that the only thing that we're missing? Is that the missing piece?
No.
A couple of goons?
No.
Because if that's the case,
it's not about defense. This is actually something that it circumvents and covers both defense and offense. It's an individual approach to yourself, how you see other opponents, how you see your team, how you project. Like, you know what I'm saying, like it's different what I'm talking about. It's both defense and offense benefit from it.
Right, because I was gonna say, if that's the case, why not just trade for Kelly Oubre right now?
Oakley could set a screen with a grimace, bro.
Right. And not even set the screen, but be in the area and people know he there. People know he lurking.
Straight shoulder faking cat into giving up the ball.
Right.
And I'm not saying like we can ever get back to that kind of physical toughness and this, that, and the other, but it was more spirit than it was anything else. These cats wasn't boxing every night, every game.
Right.
You know, there is something about playing against somebody who you quote unquote have a fear for. Like when I played basketball, you know, I love giving elbows. Well, if the dude was crazy, I'm blessed with the elbow. I'm gonna shoot a fadeaway. Right. It's just something about that. You know, I played against like, you know, people straight out of prison. You know what I'm saying? It's a different energy. You know what I mean? So it is what it is to have that that enforcer, that goon, whatever, because you know there's people in the league that grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth. Like Steph, he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Like Nas.
And like Nas.
Oh, did I say
man,
that?
Come on, man. We on it today, bro.
Did I say that?
We on it today.
I'm sorry. I just
like Knox.
Hey, so Mo, I'm gonna tell a story in like 30 seconds. I tell Miss Mocha that I'm gonna stop telling stories on
none of your stories in 30 seconds.
So as a sixth grader, right? As a sixth grader, I make the school team, right? But the school team usually only let 7th and 8th graders play, right? But I had been on the honor roll. I was really tall and skinny for a sixth grader. I was taller than most everybody in the 7th and 8th grade, except for this dude named Andre, who really liked 8th grade, by the way. He really liked 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? He liked it so much, he did it a couple times. You know what I'm saying? He really enjoyed it. So I make the team, right? And everybody on the block like, yo, Uncle Freezy, everybody like dapping me up. The ice cream truck come, icy truck come, they get by me stuff. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know what I'm saying? I'm representing for our neighborhood or whatever. So Saturday morning, these dudes come. These dudes show up. I swear, it was like a rap video. It's like they show up like in 4 Delta 88s. So back in the day, Delta 88s was like the joint. You know what I'm saying? They bumping. You know what I'm saying? They bumping Melly Mel and everything. And I'm like, yo, these cats come to our block, you know what I'm saying? And so they looking for like you know what I'm saying, looking to put some money up in the game, but it's only 4 dudes out there. It's Iceman, Phaser D, and a couple of other dudes, right? And they like, yo, Uncle Freezy, we about to play for money. And I'm like, yo, word, y'all about to play for money? Somebody gonna pay y'all to play? They ain't no stupid, we gambling. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. I'm a shorty. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never played with it. These dudes is like in their 30s and 40s, right? And so I'm 12. They like, yo, you can't find nobody else. I'm like, nah, man. You know, it was a late night last night. Whatever. You know, it's 12 o'clock. It's early in the day. Ain't nobody out here. And so they like, yo, can you play? I'm like, yeah, I can play. I got my little dribble, man. I got my crossover. I've been watching. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Thomas. You know, so they like, man, come on, man, we playing for $5. And I'm like, $5? We gonna win $5? He like, dog, stop being so young, Uncle Freezy. Right? Stop being so young. Right? So I'm like, okay, y'all want me to run point? He like, no, we don't want you to run point. We don't want you to run nothing. We just need a 5th man. Don't even touch the ball. If they pass it to you, pass it back. I'm like, but yo, I'm on the school team. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the school team, man. I got a number. They're like, yo. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. So we get out, and so we start playing, man. And no lie, I asked Iceman to set me up. What in the world? Why old timers play in work boots? So anyway, Iceman is playing in work boots, right? He playing in work boots. I'm talking about bro games. I'm talking about, he worked construction during the week. He went to the van and put his construction boots on. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, so he gives me
uncle when he was 12.
Yeah. So yo, freaky, pay attention, man. Stop playing. so Iceman gives me a handoff, and I come around and I see Phaser D cut in front of baseline, right? And so I whip this skip pass into him because it's similar to a play that we run at the school. Phaser D gets the backdoor pass and lays it up, right? Iceman was like, yo, that was dope. Can you do that again? Yup. So we come down and I don't sell it, right? I act like I'm gonna go around the screen, but then I cut back around, Phaser D cuts baseline, I skip it in there. You know what I'm saying? Phaser D get another. They're like, yo, Uncle Freezy can play. Right? And so now I'm going, every time they score, I go get the inbound pass. Right? They're like, oh boy, Uncle Freezy feeling himself. So Phaser D like, yo, you better not mess this up. $5 is on the line. And I'm like, Phaser D, I got you, fam. So I come down, I fake around the screen, come back around the screen. Phaser D cuts baseline, right? But I know there's a man in the corner. I fake the bounce pass and kick it to the man in the corner. My man nails a wide open three. Bam. Right? So we balling, right? So I'm like, Iceman, when y'all gonna let me shoot? All I'm doing is giving y'all the ball. Y'all out here rocking. Iceman was like, don't you shoot that ball. Don't you shoot that ball. Right? So my man tries to run the same thing. Iceman takes the ball away from him. I chase the ball, run it down. Remember, I'm 12. These dudes like 40. These dudes in their 30s and 40s. Right? I run the ball down, and I'm on the other side of the court by myself. Right? And I'm like, yo, I got all this momentum. I'm going to try to yam on these dudes. So I take off, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm really up here. I cock it back like this and get ready to go yam. And a dude hits me Ronnie Lott style, right? I fall out of the air. My ribs are broken. They're not really. It just feel like that, right? My ribs are broke. I come down. Now, mind you, I'm 5'7", 97 pounds, right? I'm a sixth grader, right? Probably about 95 pounds. So I fall, I hit the ground, I roll up into the gate. I got glass all over, glass coming all out of my face. I ain't bleeding that. And it's just, yeah, in the early 80s mode, we never played on refined courts. It was outside, broken glass, beer bottles everywhere. All kind of stuff. Where
they live in Beirut.
Yeah, cigarette butts. You know what I'm saying? Hey, potato chip bags, all kind of stuff. So
use condoms.
Everything. So I'm on the gate. I'm rolled up at the bottom of the gate, right? The bottom of the gate is curled up from dudes sneaking in the court. You remember how they used to pull up the bottom of the gate to get in the court or whatever? Yep. I'm down there, right? Down there, man. I'm hurt, man. My soul is hurt. I'm looking up in the sky. I'm like, right? My mom's is out there. What y'all doing to my baby? Right? I'm like, oh my God, my mom. I'm so embarrassed right now. My mother going to come over here. And Iceman walks over to me and looks down on me and says, didn't I tell your ass not to shoot? I'm like,
at least you're an honest man, Freezy. At least you're an honest man, because you told that story the same way 3 times now.
Right.
Yo.
They didn't get it because I'm like, yo, I'm wide open by myself on the other side of the court, and they still won't let me shoot. I can't even get a layup, dog. And so anyway, I take this $5 and go across the street to try to holler at this girl, Madam. So we won. But what I'm saying is, man, there is a toughness that you have to have. And if you expect to play like that, man, people expect that level of toughness all the time. But at 5'7", 95, and I embellished a little bit. I'll probably not 97, but maybe about 95, 94, 95 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I did contribute a little bit, but when those cats tell you not to shoot, and when I tell you they was tough, I'm telling you, they meant don't shoot, and those dudes were tough. So anyway, I digress. I just wanted to change up a little bit to let y'all know how good Uncle Freezy was. He was nice.
By the way, your 30-second story was 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was in dog years. It was in dog years.
Hey yo, Ghetto. I was just waiting for the punchline. I was like, this punchline better be good.
I know how he got Mocha, because on their first date, she ain't get a word in, and all she did was laugh. She said, "Oh, I'm keeping him forever. I ain't never got to say a word. He gonna talk to me, because you know that's what our women say the most. What's on your mind? Say something. She ain't got to worry about that when I'm for free.
She ain't got to worry about nothing. But yeah, so I said all of that, man. Just say back then, it was a different time, man. I don't know if we need a certain level of crazy now. But I don't know for sure. But if we do, let's go get it. Let's not wait. You know what I'm saying? I say let's get all the pieces that we need right now and move with it. So
you can't crazy. You can't force those pieces. Like you can't. And I feel like it's a developing process. Like Mitch might, to tell you the truth, Mitch might be that guy for real. But like, it's not so much like the who. It's the that it's there. It's kind of like. I'm still not saying like let's not seek talent and this, that, and the other. Like really, that's the primary thing. But like, yeah, like just let's not overlook like cats who bring that particular element, because it may not be important to a team like Utah, but it's important to a team like the Knicks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, are we done talking about D Rose? Did we finish?
No, man, no. I want to talk about D Rose in a sense of how destructive I think it's gonna be.
In one way, we wanted to talk about the D Rose thing one way.
Right. No. I want to know what I'm saying is I'm introducing a point that is going to be different from a lot of the takes y'all have already heard. Because the first thing I heard, was well, he's going to take Quickly's minutes, and the second thing I heard was who's going to start, him or Alfred Payton, and the third thing I heard was Alfred Payton with the second unit might be good for Obi Toppin, even though me and Chuck B had already talked about that last week. And so what I want to do is add a different element to it. So I don't think it's love. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I have a different element because, like, I don't believe, like, I believe Rivers is the most at danger, to tell you the truth. I don't think it's Quickly.
Wow. Dude, you signed him to 3 years.
What that mean?
Yeah, but only $10 million. That's 3 years, $10 million. That's easy to move.
Yeah.
That's not guaranteed.
I feel like he's the one like that really got the competition. Like I think we're looking at the whole thing wrong. Like Rose could easily be a point guard or a shooting guard. Easily. Now, in this Derrick Rose. So like he might play with Quickly. He might play with Elf.
We don't know what's going on.
They might trade Elf. Like the rumors are saying
Elf got a no trade, no?
You can waive it.
Well, his contract comes with a no trade because of the collective bargaining agreement. You re-sign a player that you just let go, like they get a no trade clause. But he may agree, like, because what the scuttlebutt is that there's playoff teams that are looking at it. Much to my chagrin, because like you listen to Knicks fans, you would think that he's trash, but I don't know. All the professionals who play basketball seem to think differently, but whatever. What do I know?
The thing about Elf is that he's not a starting point guard. I think that's what
he can start for the Clippers right now. What do you mean? Right now.
Yes, because Patrick Beverly started for the Clippers.
Right now. This second, he could start for the Clippers and be effective.
Yeah, because they are lacking a starting caliber point guard.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Like we sometimes don't really we look at our situation in a very, very, very close bubble, man.
Time out. But when you are avoided of uber level talent, I could start point guard if I got Paul George on one wing and freaking hold on, and I got Kawhi Leonard on the other wing. I could play point guard at 6'5", 6'6", 45 years old.
Right, no doubt. I mean,
we changing the conversation.
Well, the way they turn the ball over.
If anybody could do it, then the point guard that they have now would be okay too. Then.
No, you're missing the point. We are avoided of talent. So the thing is, Alfred Payton is not going to. He's a serviceable player. There's a difference between serviceable and good. It's serviceable. It's like if you have like a car, right? It's going to get you from point A, maybe to point B. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get it fixed. Often the oil.
Hey, I'm not here to say I've never said that Elf was any kind of like long-term situation here. I appreciated him as a backup. My whole thing about Elf is that he is the best that we have to offer at the spot. That's just always been my contention. Like, okay, if he's here, we're looking around at the playing field that we have. He's the best at it, and like cats were shooting down, but like. There's things that he brings that cats don't appreciate.
It's not his fault.
It is, but the professional Zoo. And it's not his fault because as the talent is better around him, he actually performs better.
It's not his fault.
Think about it this way. Like, okay, LeBron James, he is the point guard of any team he's on. They don't need a point guard. When LeBron James has the ball 98% of the time, he's the point guard. You could put Rajon Rondo. You could put Chalmers, who's out the league, and win a championship with those quote-unquote point guards because they're serviceable point guards. Now, Payton is one of those where you have to have superstar level talent around him to hide him. That's my point. On the Knicks, where we are avoided of talent, we need something better than Alfred Payton in order to raise the level. It's like when Chris Paul went to OKC, people thought that OKC was going to be a terrible team, but it was CP3 that elevated that team into the playoffs because of his ability at 38, 37 years of age. And so the thing is that Alfred Payton, he is not elevating everybody else around him, and you cannot tell me that he has elevated by his play. He has great defense. That's it. He can't shoot. And he can't. And the only person that he plays with is Randall. Where's his assist numbers? Where's his making the offense really making people better? You don't see that. That's what your point guard is supposed to do.
But he has a deficiency in his game.
Where we come into this season where Randall is actually our LeBron. So to point to the situation that you mentioned with LeBron, he shouldn't need, and we obviously don't. We don't need more than a serviceable point guard because our superstar is a point forward who has the ball in his hands and plays for 42 minutes a game.
Man, Alfred Payton is averaging 3.7 assists per game.
Okay. He's not the point. The offense is being ran through Randall.
Yeah,
controlling the offense.
Years before that, the years before he was averaging 3.7 points per game, he had averages of
7.7 assists, but
7.6. It's because Randall has taken the responsibility of distributing the ball on this.
He's a point forward. And we see it. It's only one basketball.
Time out. Here's my point about Randall. No, Randall is recognizing double teams for the first time in his life and kicking it out. So he's getting those assist numbers because he's the best.
He's intentionally setting up plays. What are you talking about? The offense is being run through him. He's controlling the offense.
Tip system is predicated on Randall's.
The ball immediately goes to him. He runs the offense.
90% of his assists is based off of the double teams coming to him, and he's finding the open man. That's how it's
plays. He's playmaking.
Right. Yeah, but you're acting like he's LeBron. He's like this.
He brings the ball up. He makes the play. Like you. What do you? Am I crazy? Am I the only one seeing that?
No.
No, you're not.
No, and secondly,
from rebound to the next to our opposing court, he runs the ball.
Hey, I'm here to tell you, it don't matter where you get the assist from. Whether you get the assist from the post going outward or from the point going toward the basket. To me, it don't matter as long as you get the assist. You know what I mean? I mean, Charles Barkley used to do that too.
Time out. I used to play basketball. I played center. Okay, and I used to get the ball, score on my man, then the double team came. I got an assist. I'm not the point guard. I'm making a basketball play. So Randall, time out. Randall is finally making because he was a low IQ player last year.
Oh, so he finally got smart.
Yes, he did finally get smart. That's why last year we wanted him traded, and now he's an all-star because he's making those basketball plays. Huh?
What's the average?
He's like 7, like 6 or 7.
Yeah. That's what's the average assist numbers for a point guard? I mean, power forward.
Man, like maybe 2 assists.
Maybe.
Right. Maybe 2 assists. He's making basketball plays.
He's intentionally drawing double teams to kick out. He's doing it intentionally. He's creating the plays.
Yeah,
so wait. But you're like, so CP and Free Keith. So I don't understand, and some people in the chat maybe also. So we don't understand why y'all are on different sides of the argument when you know we understand that Randall's not a point guard and that he's a point forward, and that we understand that.
He's saying he's not. He's saying he's just getting assists because of doubles. I'm saying he's a point forward. He's saying he's not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm saying no. The original point was on Alfred Payton is not good enough to be on the Knicks. He's not serviceable enough. If we're going to talk about the whole dynamics of this, when Randall has the ball, right, and he gets out to Alfred Payton, and he's going to brick us 3. He's going to brick it and miss a 3 because he can't shoot a 3.
Right.
We need something better than Alfred Payton. That's all. And there's no debate in that. Like the newspapers know it. When he plays well, we win.
What are we even discussing? Like nobody said that we don't need an upgrade from Payton. Like that. What is the discussion here?
Right. That was your argument was he's not that bad.
And I think you guys were also talking about how Alfred
he's not trash like everybody says that he's trash.
He is trash.
He's not what we want.
Nah,
that's a different.
But that's not trash.
He's not trash.
He was a triple double threat,
dude. Like right now, he's percentage points away from a 3-pointer for being a loved point guard.
Rajon Rondo.
If Alfred Payton had a jump shot,
yeah, we love him. Just say that's all it is.
Wow. He doesn't. That's my point. He doesn't.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't have a 3. He doesn't have a 3-point shot. Excellent. Then just say, okay, that's why y'all don't like him. But like, he ain't trash, bro.
No, and he can't finish at the rim.
He doesn't.
There's
more than just a jump shot situation. Yeah.
Have we moved the definition of trash?
Hey, so
maybe, maybe that's it. That's what we gotta meet minds on. What is trash?
Hey, so I'm gonna move off the screen so y'all can have it, but I'm still here, right? I just want it to be a better visual, so I'm gonna step off the screen, but I'm still here. So Free Keith, don't say nothing about Kevin Knox, while I'm off.
But wait, I want to know. What can we spin back to D Rose though?
Yes, please.
Can we spin back to D Rose? I want to know what Katz is thinking, what Katz is feeling about this particular movement.
Yo, it's really about how we use him, how we're gonna use him, and what other moves we're gonna make. Alfred Payton. So the reason why we were talking about Alfred Payton is because we're talking about the value that he has around the league. And I think his drop down in assist numbers is not a coincidence. It's because Julius Randle has more of a say in the offense and who gets the ball. So I think if Alfred Payton goes to another team, he has a value. So if we trade Alfred, I'm happy with this. Derrick Rose getting 30 minutes a game is a little shaky. I mean, we'll see if he can survive that. But I would want Derrick Rose. I mean, Derrick Rose to be playing ahead of Emmanuel quickly, as opposed to Alfred Payton, because Derrick Rose, in the last game, Derrick Rose could have been used because we needed a bucket. We needed somebody who could create a shot, And I think Derrick Rose is a guy who, in any situation, can create offense. So that's what I got.
We need that guy. That was actually a little bit. I was a little bit salty that we got rid of Trier. I'm understanding there's some background stuff to that or whatever. I don't know, but Trier, Beasley. I don't even know who before that, but we need guys who you put out on the court. They're we stagnated, man. Go get us 5 points, bro. Yeah. We need that, and if we're not going to develop that guy, then I'm cool with trading for him. And I never mentioned DSJ in any of the trades because I didn't think that they would take DSJ for him. I didn't Rose is a capo. I really think he got some stuff on Cats in the league though, for real. I think stuff on Cats because I never mentioned DSJ in any of my scenarios because I did not think that they would even want to breathe on that dude. Well, I guess they took Baby Rose for grown Rose. They're gonna develop Baby Rose. Merry Christmas. What I didn't think that Rose would do though was come up off of a 2021 second rounder. That surprised me.
Yeah, that pick is kind of expendable though, because those picks are going to be. That's Charlotte, right?
That means it's going to be almost like a late first round pick. Bro.
I mean, how's Charlotte doing right now? Because I think they're
ain't going nowhere, bro.
Wait,
Charlotte, I think got the same record as us. So
so that's not we're not losing that much. That's Ignis Brazdeikis.
It just stings a little bit. I'm not mad at it because I'm not one of the cats who wanted him to leave the first time. I blame that whole year on the forced triangle. If those dudes was allowed to play free, him, Melo, we would have had a gobstopper of a team, yo.
You don't blame it on D Rose saying, "Hey, I'm going to take this time off.
Stop it!"
No, I don't.
He took a 2-week sabbatical, and nobody is on his neck. Leave the man off of one game, bro.
Seriously,
it was firestorm.
We snapped and had a mental one game.
And he went to Minnesota and scored 50.
Y'all act like the man left to go boogie and party.
First of all, we live this is the Knicks, and everything is amplified. It was a time where we sucked. Number one, we were losing. And number two, we didn't need that extra distraction.
Of course
because we were the Knicks.
I agree with you. Of course we didn't. We don't need any extras. And I'm glad actually that's the one thing over these couple seasons that we didn't have, and that's a blessing. But like no extras, you're right. But like in the vast scheme of things, like I'm looking at what cats are doing current day. I'm like, man, that what he did, winning makes the difference with that. Because obviously, like Kyrie literally took like days, weeks. Nobody knew where he was at. He ain't contact nobody.
And
who does that?
And what do we say?
And
what do we say when it happened? We were like, "Thank God the Nets got him. The Nets got him," and we don't. You know,
nobody in the league, even Nets fans, it's not a big deal no more. Why? Because they back to winning. Winning cures all ills. That's it.
Yeah, and that year when we had DSJ, Derrick Rose, we weren't winning.
Yeah, we
ended up getting
dude, I'm just saying right now, looking back, I'm not holding no water to that. Like it's not a big infraction to me. I'm gonna play him now. Fine.
And not to mention, that was the same year he had a case.
He had a case. The broad lied. What are you supposed to do about that?
No. I'm talking about as a media, the media.
All
the
right,
media circus.
So he snapped, bro. Like
everybody's not built for the New York media.
Not when you're playing 21 million at the time.
Bro, that don't.
If I snap, I'm gonna snap on a better money. I'm not gonna snap.
Money don't make you have a strong mental.
That's true.
He's going through thing after thing after thing, trying to revive his career, and on a losing team, being forced to the triangle. Everybody think it's ass. They blaming it on him. Like, come on, bro. Like, not everybody's mentally strong, and money don't shield you from that.
Big facts.
He didn't take a break to go and party and boogie.
Yeah, he still averaged 18 a game.
James Harden.
And still average 18 a game.
So, like, I don't know.
We were losing. We were losing.
What, though?
We were losing.
He was bringing back his career.
Our coach didn't know.
Let him go see Dr. Phil, Alana Van Zant, or something like that. If you got all that money, you should go see a psychiatrist.
Yes. When your player has a mental issue, that's what you should do. Yes, you're right.
The organization was different.
I'm optimistically cautious about the D-Rose trade. I just don't know what to expect. Tibbs is the organization, they don't give up much in the media. I was shocked that this trade even was speculated, and then I put two and two together when you saw Detroit papers talking about the trade more. That's when I said, oh, Detroit's trying to get more out the deal. They trying to hustle to get more out the deal because the Knicks is only offering DSJ, a player that they've already said that they don't want, and a second-round draft pick, which they got 7 of the next 3 years. They don't value this at all. They're trying to see what they could get this for the rest of the season. But I don't know if that means Elf plays or don't play, because I think Tibbs likes Elf. I don't know if that means Quickly plays less. I don't know if this means Quickly plays more off ball. And I haven't heard this, and I'm sorry I haven't participated. I came in late, so I don't like to be rude when I come in late. But does this mean that they want to see what they got out of Toppin? And in order to see what you got out of Toppin, you need a real point guard that can hold his dribble and be a threat. I don't know what this means. So I'm going to be optimistically cautious because I've seen things go south for the Knicks before, but this could come out to be one of the greatest moves we ever met. That's what's most exciting about this Knicks season, is that you flipping just don't know what to expect. But here's the thing, as I shut up, I'm along for the ride. I'm here for all of it. I ain't checking out. I ain't checked out in a long time, and I ain't going nowhere.
See, that's the energy. That right there. That's the energy. Me personally, I look at this trade. I love it. I feel like we didn't really give up too much. I think we won this trade, hands down. I wanted to win a little more, but like this was a total win, I think, for us. we talk about like how like players like Tibbs runs players into the ground, like like we as fans blame Tibbs for like D Rose's injuries because of overuse and this, that, and the other. But it's weird how every one of these players that we put on Tibbs actually like call Tibbs one of the best coaches they ever been with.
And
Let
they
me
all
say
make their way back to Tibbs.
when a player what is a player or any former coach supposed to say about their former coach or teammate or whatever? Of course they're not going to say anything bad. No, time out. I remember when Spoelstra I remember when Spoelstra said the one coach that he was afraid to play against was the one and other Fizdale, Coach Fizdale. And he blew him out every single freaking time. And so I don't care about what it's like your mom, right? You ain't gonna say nothing bad about your mom or your brother or whatever. It's called fraternizing. It's called favoritism. You're never going to you want an objective opinion about somebody. Go to somebody who's more objective, that has nothing to lose, like a friendship. Give me a Charles Barkley who don't even care about his, he'll criticize Jordan and he'll criticize whatever. Give me that honest opinion. And then the thing is, we have enough thing. Like, okay, I want to be patient with Fizdale. You know what I'm saying? But he was Tibbs. Sorry. With Tibbs.
Look at you. Look at you already. I see where you're going with Tibbs.
He was never my first choice. My first choice was like this. My thing was like this. If you're going to bring a guy that is of his pedigree, it tells me that you're willing to win now. Okay? So if we're going to win now, that means that this youth development movement is over. And that was in the back of my mind. And it looks like it's heading to an end because Knox ain't playing, Frank ain't playing. We traded away DSJ for nothing. And now we have more veterans that are playing more time over the thing. So this development thing is over. I would have thought that they would have kept Mike Miller because you had like nothing to lose, because now you could sell to the fans, hey fans, we're going to this youth movement ideal. But now it's more of a win now, heavy laden with veterans, and this is the direction of where the franchise is going. Now, if it equals into a championship playoffs, I'm not gonna knock it. But it doesn't go without this thing. Here's
the problem, CP the artist. Then you, and this is where, while we don't, I'm with Free Keep. I don't just got free smoke for Dole. I don't just come for his neck every 5 minutes. It's a way. Only thing I blame him for is you're running the business, and how do you let Isaiah Thomas totally destroy the brand, the integrity? So that is the only thing I blame him for. But here's the other thing I blame him for, and I think this is what you're missing. He has little to no patience with his daddy's money. None.
Yeah.
He's tired of being a loser. He don't have 5 years to wait, and so if the right group comes in and he gives them an interview and he says, I could turn you into a winner in 2 or 3 years, and this is how we do it, and he looks back and really says, I believe that, he's going for it. Yeah. So you got to know, Dolan would never sign up for winning in 5 years. He's not signing up for that. You tell him 2 or 3 years, he got that. If Rose and this group don't win in 2 or 3 years, they fire too, and we're going to be miserable Knicks fans.
I think Dolan has done better in the last few years because we have not even reached the luxury tax. So we're being very conservative. So I believe he is buying into the plan of slow rebuild, and someone finally gave it to him like, hey, this is the way to go. Here's the example, whatever. Dolan is just a man who writes the checks. And if you're in corporate America, I'm a creative, and I deal with corporate America people. In corporate America, they're not thinking creatively. They're thinking dollars and cents. And it's hard for you as a creative to say, hey, this is the vision and where it's supposed to go when you have somebody of an analytical mind. And unfortunately, Dolan is somebody who, you tell him, hey, the sky is pink and orange, he's going to believe it's pink and orange. You know what I mean? And so I agree with you in one aspect, but it's just that, we crucify Dolan and then we praise him. It's like, I think he's doing the right thing right now by.
I'm sorry, my fault.
Yeah, I think he's doing the right thing right now by steering the ship. We're not in luxury tax hell. We don't have bad contracts. This is a really good blank slate that we have, and moving forward, we're in a good position as long as the GMs and everything does everything right. So,
if you think Dolan, I'm gonna be quick, Steve. If you think Dolan buys into a slow rebuild, and he hired Tibbs over Atkinson and Mike Miller, who was doing a good job, then my brother, who I have much respect for, who sounds like you might be from Asbury, New Jersey. I want to know because we might know a lot of people in common. But
no. I'm from Amboy.
Oh, Perth Amboy. Okay.
Yeah.
If you think Tibbs, if you think Dolan allowed these guys to hire Tibbs over Atkinson and Miller, who was doing a good job with the youth, and he's signed up for a slow rebuild, I absolutely respectfully have a bridge to sell you. He's not going.
No, I agree. No, my point was the Tibbs hire was to say that rebuilding thing, it's over.
Over. I'm sorry. I misheard you, Sam. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
But I think like, it's a rebuild. I mean, it's not a rebuild anymore, but at the same time, we still have guys like Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly who are like very essential to every game that we play. So like if we're like bringing those guys along, but at the same time like developing other parts of the team like with veteran pieces, I don't think we're at a loss. We're still developing. Me personally, I'm young, but I don't want to wait for Knox to become whatever he's going to become. I don't want to wait for Ntilikina to become whatever he's going to become. I see RJ, I see a product that is already a little palatable and can grow. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. I see Mitch, I see the same thing. IQ, the same thing. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. But I don't think New York is the place to like have a young guy like Knox who isn't mentally, strong enough to like, withhold like this media. So I don't know. I think we're still building in a sense because like as long as we have those guys on the team and they're an essential part of the team, we don't have a problem.
I agree. I agree, Mo. Like I feel like the like a lot of the fan base might be a little bit too rigid when they're talking about like these words like rebuild and like we're not in rebuild anymore. We're in build. Like, so it's we gotta shed something. Like there's certain statistics that we're not gonna beat, and it might make us feel a little bit more comfortable. But like 4% of drafted cats, less than 4% of drafted cats stay with the teams that they drafted to. This is NBA history. Like it's just it. This is the way, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the way the machine works. Like so like us marrying ourselves to like how long you hold on to each individual youth waiting. It's more of a card game, kind of like know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Kind of you got to know when and how to position yourself. Like okay, like we're no longer rebuilding, we're building now. So now what do we have? Who's the wheat and who's the chaff? RJ makes the bill. Mitch makes the bill. IQ makes the bill. Obi's still getting the tires kicked. You know what I'm saying? Because of whatever his circumstances requires that. But like the other guys, like Frank is not he's not a 4-year rookie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this whole thing about like the team didn't develop him or this, that, and the other. Like, yo, like talent kind of can't hide itself.
Here's a problem though.
But wait, let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Let me finish, please. And like, you know, somebody like Knox, like you see the evidence, you see the potential there, but you also see like his mind ain't there. So now you're betting on like, will it come? Will it come in the time that like that it's taking us, that's obviously going to take us to become like that playoff team, deep playoff team? Like, are we still going to be waiting on Knox? Is he still going to be taking up a valuable slot, and we're not going to use him as a piece to try to get a chip because we're waiting for Knox and we're waiting for this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so now we're in that juggling phase of a regular building team, and every team is building until they get a chip. It just is what it is. So now we're in that fluid motion. I don't mind if the first casualty is DSJ.
And I think the first casualty of our development, I really, in my heart, unfortunately, I think it's going to be Mitch, because I just don't think Mitch and the organization. I think Mitch's time frame for himself is faster than what the organization has. And next year, when he's only getting paid $1.1 million and he wants to negotiate a contract that's greater than what they're willing to offer him, I think they're going to have to make a decision that he's so valuable. See, that's the hardest part with Mitch. He's so valuable that you can't rewrite him a contract until next year. And if it doesn't look like you're going to meet eye to eye on that, you can't play, because you can't let Mitch become an unrestricted free agent and say, okay, we'll negotiate with him then. His value is so high.
He's already got a body of work that will at least get him workouts. So it's not like you ain't going to hide it. It's too late. It's too late to hide the Mitch train. It's too late. So I'm giving Mitch his bread.
And see, me too.
I'm giving Mitch his bread. Based on how Tibbs speaks about Mitch, I'm giving Mitch his bread. We see what happens with the defense. Honestly, like, cats think that he's bad on defense or he's not a great defensive player, but you see the defense slide when he leaves the court, bro. Like, he's the core.
This is the last time we should say this, Keith, because me and you either give Mitch you're giving Mitch his bread, tell Mitch you're giving him his bread, or trade him now.
I think he's fine.
But like, how much bread? Yeah, how much bread?
Like, I don't even think I think that's more of an issue to us than it is to him. Like, I don't see any evidence where like his bread. It looks like he wants to play more. He wants to be able to show more of himself. If anything that I see, if I gather from his social media and what he puts out, like, I don't see a lot of like him being disgruntled about like, oh, like, it doesn't seem like that. I'm not getting that feel from him. I feel like we might be projecting that as something like, oh, like, I think this might come up, but I don't see it.
I think we feel that way because of the switching of the agents. Like, his agent got him a real bad deal. Like,
yo, his original agents messed him up. Like, they were responsible for keeping him out the top, the lottery pick.
Do you think his agents were responsible for him going to college, not matriculating, not getting on the college floor?
They were responsible for him not working out for teams.
Okay. I didn't know that much background, so I have to trust you on it. I just know if Mitchell Robinson, as highly touted as he was coming up to college, would have did the stuff that he needed to do to matriculate at any college he wanted to,
he would have been.
The rest would have taken care of itself. So I put more responsibility on Mitch than any agent.
He violated NCAA
but you
rules.
never know you never know what somebody's getting advised to do. Like, yeah, you see the end product of the decision and it's on them, but you never know what somebody's getting advised to do. And I feel like he might have been getting advised to make some of the moves that he made.
But here's the thing, though, wasn't the guy that he was training with the same guy that trained Anthony Davis? So isn't there like a certain level of I guess, understanding or mystique in regards to the fact that you're training with the same guy that has a superstar level client. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be one of those things that kind of propelled? Hey, you know what? If I'm a team looking, my draft pick is, where I can take this chance or whatever. This guy's training with this, with this superstar level talent. Maybe I can, go ahead and take the gamble on them. You know what I'm saying? Especially being, like a low pick. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like top 20, top 25 or whatever before he went to the second round. Like I said, just based off the fact that we're talking about Anthony Davis and his skill set alone has him propelled as being one of the top 5 players as long as he's playing in the league. You know what I mean?
Mitch don't have that skill set, bro.
But we don't know that. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about him.
No, we can see that.
No,
let's not do that.
No, I'm saying we're talking about him pre-draft. We're not saying now. I'm saying pre-draft before we picked him up, right? Because everything that you guys are saying, right, as far as had he gone to a college, basically he would have been Wiseman. He'd been Wiseman before Wiseman because Wiseman had a body of work where we looked at it and said, okay, well, based off of what we've seen and the things that he's done, he can be, somebody's he could be somebody's franchise center. So I'm saying with that beared in mind, with everything that you guys were saying, is it possible that, again, that mystique alone, had he been able to play in college, knowing that he's training with Anthony Davis's trainer, would that have propelled him to a better position in the draft where we would have missed out on him?
I don't know nothing about the training. All I know is Mitch's first 5 games, you got to assume that he could have been that in college, right? Most players, their first 5 games in the NBA is not much better than they were in college. If they had it, they had it. And Mitch, his first 5 games in college, in the NBA, had he done 75 to 80% of that in college, he'd been the top 10 pick in that draft, period. I don't care about no workouts, just his first 5 games in the NBA.
This is weird.
But everything I'm saying was said was said after the draft. After he got drafted, you know how they run the whole gambit of information of what he's done or whatever to be propelled at this point or whatever. So again, I'm just asking. Like I said, I'm just asking the question if again all that information translated as well as him playing in college. Do you think that he would have been basically the Wiseman before Wiseman? You know what I mean?
I don't really know.
Mitch wasn't supposed to even be playing on the NBA court his first year.
Like him not playing.
Like his whole projection, he outshot his whole projection. Like y'all aren't understanding what that means. Like like his first year of NBA basketball was really supposed to be like last year. Maybe.
Yeah, he shined in the sun. Yeah, he did his thing.
He never saw the G League. Mitch has probably been the biggest win that we've had, of a pick in the last. I'll include KP, but KP was actually picked in the position that he probably should have been picked in.
I'm gonna be honest, and that's part of the reason I didn't like the Derrick Rose.
I'm giving Mitch
because of the fact that we gave him draft capital.
I'm giving Mitch the Frank treatment because that's actually a body and a talent that deserves that Frank treatment. Like, I'm giving this dude as much time as he needs because even now in his very rough and refined state where he still has like miles to go to meet his ceiling, he is still one of the most impactful guys on the team.
If Quickly is exceeded expectations by 75%, then Mitch exceeded expectations by 175%.
Dude, Cash just take it for granted. Like, we talking about Mitch like he was a lottery pick or like he was just like some draft capital that no, bro. Like, he was a 2nd round pick. Even when like Cats thought that he was good, the word on him was when we were coming into the season, he was going to G League. The man has never seen a day of G League yet.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Like the Mitch situation is tough because like everything he does now, like we can say that like we can like not like criticize him because we didn't expect anything from him. So like that's because that's what I'm getting from you.
Don't get criticized. I'm not going to jump out the window like, oh, he can't get criticized. But I'm just saying just keep that, like, I feel like filter it through, or at least like use that lens and understand like what you're actually judging, and if you're being a little bit like biased in that judgment, like he's some regular player and he came like regularly. He didn't.
Yeah, no, I feel like but I think he's getting a longer leash than other players on this roster would, like because of his physical talents, because he's a freak athlete, because he's like essential to our defense. Like he's getting this leash, and like I don't know, we'll see what it'll do to his development. But like right now, like what his value is. Well, we'll see. We'll see what his value is, but like I think he's like, I think right now, like if we can trade Mitch for like, I know you're not gonna be happy with this, Keith, but if we can put Mitch in a package for like a Karl Anthony Towns, like I don't see.
Come on, man. We just had to talk about spirit, bro. Like we just had to talk about spirit and how it's important, yo.
Yeah, but like we still like we'll still have guys like, but it's just like I see Mitch last night or yesterday, and like he's not making plays like at the end of the game, like that botched putback. Like I feel like if he was a little bit more focused, I don't know. It's like one of those things. Like maybe I'm being a little too critical, but I see like Mitch becoming a little bit more of a problem when we're a better team. Like there's going to be things that he does that irks us.
That's fair. That's fair. I can see where you're going with that, and that's totally fair. I feel like I see a tad more refinement, and I feel like there's more on the way. I feel like the reason why Tibbs has Mitch, you think it's a long leash, but I think it's a long leash in one very direct aspect. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if he strays off the defense aspect, that leash gets tightened. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that Tibbs is fully letting him get loose because he's trying to discipline him, like trying to keep him disciplined. And that's probably a bigger thing that Mitch needs right now to help the team in the future than anything else. Like disciplined basketball. We're going to play disciplined basketball. You are the core of our defense. I don't want you to think anywhere outside of trying to shoot the ball and this, that, and the other. Like, yeah, you go up for lobs. That's your offense. I need you on defense. We're going to work on that first. I can totally see that conversation coming out of Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that it has or it hasn't, but that maybe I agree with you. Like, I don't know what he's going to turn into. This might be it or this, that, and the other. But, like, when I say I'm more willing to give him the Frank treatment, that's the Frank treatment. I'm more willing to give that to him than to Frank. Like, I see he not like or something.
Like Mitch is definitely more deserving of our love, like for sure, because he's played more. He's been available, like for sure. But like, we have to like play this line of like, because right now we have him for free, so like it's just different. Like right now, like we have him for free, but when we start paying him, and he's just like playing the same way, giving us 9 and 9, like when he's 15 million a year, that's when we're gonna start like.
I just don't see that. Like, more comfortable and knowing the game and is that like just his grown man athleticism that's going to come with playing time is going to be beneficial. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just things that he's going to get improvements that he can't avoid. I can't see him regressing. So like. Maybe you don't give him max dollars. You know what I'm saying? Maybe by that time, like, he's not a max player. But, like, I want him on this team. Like, I want him here. What do I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is skill set wise, have better skills than him. Yes. But understand, though, like, I still feel like he has more heart than a Karl Anthony Towns. And I feel like that might be more important to us in that position than than what maybe Carl Anthony offers that we get from varying other positions.
But what I'm saying is that, like, so before the draft, right, there were like, you know, there was like whispers, rumors about, you know, a Mitch for like LaMelo Ball, like the number 2 pick. Yeah, I think, yeah, we were talking with the Warriors about Mitch for the number 2 pick, I believe, and our pick.
Were we, or was that a rumor?
It was a rumor. It was a rumor. It was a rumor. And like, when I watch LaMelo Ball, when I watch a pure point guard like LaMelo Ball play, like, I think, would it have been worth it to like let Mitch go? Could we find another guy like Mitch down the road, like with another second round pick, or another one of our like first round picks that we've traded for? Maybe. You know, like, that's why we need to be thinking about it not as fans, but like as like team builders. Like we need to continue to build this team. Like it's gonna hold us back to like be Knoxers or Frankers or Barreteers. If there are opportunities for us to elevate, we need to always be open to it.
I agree with you. And to me, nobody on a losing team is untouchable. You know what I'm saying? I like there's a right deal for everyone on a losing team. But like when you're digging yourself out of that and you're not so much a losing team anymore, right? And you're on a very, very obvious and like, oh, it's not even luck anymore. Like it's an obvious upswing. Like you're on the upswing. And it's through like talented basketball. Yeah. So now you got to pick and choose. Like, yes. Like there are pieces that are tradable that might sting or this, that, and the other, but everything has to be in the respect of getting better. Now, as we grow, Mitch is continuously one of the most impactful players, right? So now if I'm going to trade for somebody, I need to trade for somebody, even if it's at another position, that impact has to be reflective. Maybe LaMelo could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Impact the team, not in the same way, but like have the same percentage level of impact, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. But now down the road, you think about like, oh, like who are we looking at in the 2021 draft, and who's available in free agency, and like we're not going to be probably like deep playoff team for another couple seasons. What's Mitch going to be in those couple seasons, and are you willing to bet on it?
I mean, look, like Mitch is looking like he's gonna be what he is. Like I don't see a path for him like suddenly shooting jump shots. I don't see a path for him like suddenly busting out post moves. Like it's just like, right now it looks like he is what he is.
So Mitch is basically gonna be the next Rudy Gobert.
If Rudy has a ton of value. I'll take a Rudy. Rudy has a ton of value.
If you have RJ Barrett reach his ceiling, which we say is the roof. If we invest in Julius and he not only gets better, he gets more efficient. You said you need a 3 to shoot and score to spread the floor. Where is Mitch taking these shots? Like, why can't you see a better team being around Mitch that makes Mitch that much a better offensive rebounder and a 12 to 15 points a game and 10 rebounds? That at a center position is worth a lot of money. You're not just like Rudy Gobert, but I don't want to say Gobert because Mitch is 10 times more athletic than Rudy Gobert. Gobert is just built the way he's built.
Yeah.
Mitch is a more so we want to say Rudy Gobert, then let's say an athletic Rudy Gobert.
And I'm not really sure more experience. What was Rudy during his second, third year?
I mean, I could pull it up. But my thing is like
Rudy still has value even as Rudy Gobert is right now.
Hey, look, DeAndre Jordan still has value. You know what I'm saying?
Story.
He's not doing anything.
It all depends on your team makeup. It depends on the team as how the team is made up is going to be how valuable what Mitch provides is.
Listen, I like Mitch, and here's the thing that I personally would want from Mitch. It's not necessarily changing his game. It's just adding elements to it for specific situations. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the guy that is always known as a rim runner and you have no touches 10 to 13 feet away from the basket or anything like that. And sometimes you just want to be able to, hey, you know what? Because you're giving me an open look, I can knock this little, you know what I'm saying, shot down or whatever. You know, that's the only thing I'm looking for from Mitch. As for right now, I'm completely fine with the way Mitch plays. You know what I mean? He's improved dramatically where he's able, again, we complaining about he couldn't stay on the floor for over 6 minutes because it was always foul trouble or something like that. Now look at the fact that he's able to stay on the floor for over 20-something minutes. You know what I mean? I just want him to improve a little bit. You know what I mean? Again, for situational purposes, as long as we have guys like RJ, as long as we have Julius Randle, we don't need Mitch to do any more than he's already doing. So for me, the only thing I'm looking for him to do is the same thing that I'm sure Utah's looking for with Rudy Gobert. All I need you to do is, hey, listen, when I get an interior post play, I can hand it to you and you can score. No problem. You know what I mean? I can get you a floater, and because of Rudy's size, he can do a floater for, you know what I'm saying, 10 feet away from the basket, 12 feet away from the basket. And that's the only thing I'd really want for Mitch to do going forward. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to be the guy that carries the load in regards to the offense. You know what I mean? So I'm good with him doing what he's doing.
If we had more offense, we wouldn't even care right now.
I care.
No, I'm saying
because you got to think about the fact that people are going to game plan against everything you have. You have to have a counter for everything
right now. We probably wouldn't care so much that Mitch isn't giving us that offense because, like Rudy Gobert is not a world beater offensively. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not putting the team on his back offensively. Like we don't even. But we understand the value that a Rudy Gobert is like. Don't come in the paint. Don't think you can lay up around me easy. Value, like, is a value.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
If we got the offense that we require out of the other positions, I feel like I want more shooting out of my point guard position. I want more shooting out. I want my wings to put up more points.
Like when we talk about value, like Rudy. Okay, so Andre Drummond last year was traded for a second-round pick. A guy like that who like dominates the paint and is he's like a rim protector, he's a big body, gets rebounds, was a second-round pick. So that tells you like what the value of a center like at the Mitch, like kind of around the Mitch level. Andre Drummond is better than Mitch, but like us. So like if we, so that's what I'm saying. Like if we can get like a dynamic guy at the wing, like a dynamic guard, like for Mitch, I know that we can get a replacement. Like Rudy Gobert is like his first 2 years, like so he was averaging 2 points a game and 2 rebounds his first year, and then he went up to 8 and 9, and then the next year he went up to 9 and 11. Like so, it's a Mitch level type of guy. Like we can find those guys. Those guys exist. So like Mitch isn't like he's not a unicorn. Like he's not like this.
I think you might not think so.
He's an important like foundation. He's a foundation of this team. And I'm not saying that we need to like, but we
very few big men can
be critical. That's it.
Very few big men can move and run like Mitch. Like understand. Mitch
very few in the history of the NBA, Keith.
In the history of the NBA, and this is what Mitch is different. Like as a center, like he's literally putting up guard type speed, getting up and down the court. Like he's not playing. Like his stride alone, like in terms of like how far he can get on one stride, and like his speed at doing so, like it's phenomenal. You don't just replace certain things like that are not tangible. Like
Mo,
like he could block a shot at the rebound. I mean, at the rim, that joint it gets rebounded out back to the shooter, and he's on the 3-point line blocking the shot.
And Mo,
no, big men can't do that, and they can't do that. Like it's not an average. Those aren't average athletic things that you just find. I'd rather try to develop it. Like you try to develop that if you must. Like you have to have a center.
There's
and
like
Mo, you made my argument, Mo.
You have to have a center.
You made
Mo made my argument when you said what Drummond was traded for. The problem where me and you disagree is you tried to suggest that Drummond was traded for that, and you tried to equate that to his value. The problem became for the Pistons, and I trust that you say he was traded for a second-round pick. I don't remember that, but I trust you. But here's the problem. Detroit lost value in him when it was clear that they were not going to re-sign him, and he did not want to be there, and they would rather get a second-round pick than to let him walk for nothing. Much like this Rose undervalued.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to happen to Mitch. Let's not let him stay around here and you try to and figure out he's not going to re-sign with him. You don't want him because you could end up only getting a second-round pick for Mitch, and that would have been a great disservice not only to Mitch but to the organization. So I thank you for bringing up that point because you actually helped me make my argument.
I'm not a fan of like to me, Mitch is worth the risk of that, and I don't see any evidence of any disgruntled on him right now. In fact, the word on the team is that everybody is upbeat. I'm not feeling like any beef is coming from him right now. He knows where his numbers is at. He knows very intimately how much he's making and what he's apt to make next year. And so like I like it's not an active fear of mine. Like that's not active at all. And I feel like he'll still have value next year.
No, he has value, but I just think y'all think he's like the only guy to come around. I mean, like, yeah, he broke the field goal percentage record, but like there are guys in the league like Jared Allen, Andre Drummond, like they're on the same team.
Okay, if we can get Jared Allen.
We can. Like, I'm sure we can. We have like the assets.
But I'm
able to get a guy like that.
That's a lot of role. Like so keep Mitch. You have continuity. Like why would you like?
No. I'm not saying trade Mitch for Jared Allen. I'm saying like always like he's not one of a kind. That's all I'm saying. So he's replaceable. That's it. But I love Mitch. I love Mitch.
I disagree on that. But yeah.
I mean, let's talk more about Derrick Rose though. We talked a lot about Mitch. Like, what do y'all think he's gonna like? His role is gonna be like, and how is it gonna affect Quick? Like, exactly. Do you think he's gonna take minutes away from him, take shots away from him, or is it gonna make him better?
I'm hoping, and I think he'll be playing with him. If not, then starting when IQ is traded. I mean, not IQ. Elf is traded.
Okay, so when Elf is traded, like let's just hope he gets traded because, like, right now it's like.
I'm not, dude. I'm
not down on Elf.
Like, I hope that the playoff. I hope that playoff thing that talk is true. Because, like, I know cats in the league, like, only the professionals actually see value in him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want him off of this team and go someplace where he's valued. Like, this fan base is just some critical a-holes.
I mean, we'll see. Like, we'll see what's going to happen.
Let him have a decent three-pointer like he'd have been the best point guard ever.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing he's missing. So, I don't know.
I think
Tibbs does love him though. Yeah, you're right, Afro. But I think Rivers is most, like I said earlier, I think Rivers is most at most danger, to tell you the truth, because like Rivers was coming to do that's to be that scoring person, and he's not consistently.
Yeah, no, Rivers is averaging like 23 minutes a game and like 8 points. And like Derrick Rose is averaging the same amount of minutes, around like 22 minutes, and getting 14.
It's 14? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's averaging 14 in 22 minutes. So like, and then we also traded him for a guy that's averaging 0 points a game. So like, we just
yo, dude, that's the biggest surprise to me. I definitely didn't. I am, hats off to Rose for getting that off.
Gangster, man.
It never even filtered into my mind to use DSJ in the trade.
Yeah, we were talking about
it was always Frank or better. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even. When I saw it yesterday, I was like, "Word." Oh.
That boy wasn't even with the team. He was in.
He wasn't a G.
He was in Florida.
I was like, nah, they're not taking him. Like, that's not, you wouldn't. I wouldn't even like I wouldn't even entertain a trade like that. Like, you bugging out. Like, word.
So I guess they're gonna go find out that he has a bad back and don't know how to play point guard. So,
I think they're gonna let him. I feel sorry for that kid. Oh man. Damn,
I hope they give him minutes though.
You think, DSJ might kill himself, yo?
Chill.
I'm sorry, I take that back.
Nah, it's gonna be tough for him. But like, I think there's a chance he might get minutes there because Killian Hayes is out for the season, I believe.
You know what? I actually hope he does something. I hope because I thought he was actually. I was watching him in preseason. And I'm like, oh. At the very least, defensively, he came along. Like he was
at least.
He didn't look like don't give this man no minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you understand?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I hope he ball out. I'm not mad at DSJ. I really hope he get better. I feel like his ego was probably his biggest issue, and this is like all of this was kind of like on some kind of like positive note, might be a humbling experience that he might need to move forward.
And Detroit's also
he'll definitely have an opportunity to start. You know what I mean? Who do he have right now in front of him?
Yo, if he don't start there,
Wait, if Derrick Rose don't start?
No, I'm talking about DSJ.
Oh.
Because you're in Detroit. Detroit right now is lacking their starter because their starter is injured. You know what I'm saying? He's not coming back for the rest of the season. So at this point right now, DSJ made out because of the fact that he'll actually get minutes. We made out in regards to the fact
why
that
wouldn't they just kept Rose then?
Say again?
Then why wouldn't they have just kept Rose?
I think Rose is there specifically for the mentorship aspect of it because again, you saw how they moved on in regards to the fact that they started Killian Hayes.
No, I mean like if they need point guards, like why would they have traded Rose away?
Rose he wanted to leave.
I think he asked for the trade.
I think he wanted out. He wanted out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they eventually mutually agreed to part ways. But that was Rose who initiated that.
I'm trading.
But
right now,
but again, this is how you know the difference between a small market and a major market, because that was so under the radar until the report broke that that there was a trade on the table. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a test.
Had it been somebody here, that person requested a trade and wanted out immediately, and you know what I mean. So
when you hear that, I heard it's from the other side. Like these guys they clamp tight. It ain't no leaks coming from MSG.
Yeah,
no, I'm looking at
now. Not now. You know what I mean? It was funny how we was talking about there was a secret meeting between Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and the front office, and who broke that story? The front office. Like, where's the secret exactly at that point now? I you know what I'm saying? I just find it funny that, like I said, the difference between the major markets and, you know what I'm saying, the mid markets to small markets, you know what I mean? Again, the report didn't come out until Rose was getting traded, that Rose initiated or requested a trade, and they eventually mutually decided to part ways.
Right. Yo, also, I'm looking at the Pistons roster, and like they got no guards. Like they got Frank Jackson, Saban Lee, like
what are they doing? Like that's
right?
Like to willingly let go of like that. That's for DSJ and a second round pick. Like
they're going
full.
And from what I understand, they got like $1 billion second round pick.
Yeah, they're going full rebuild.
Okay. Well, I guess they going balls to the wall rebuild. Good stuff.
And yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, even now, look at the fact that DSJ is an expiring contract too. So if they don't think there's any value in keeping him, you know what I'm saying, even in a mentorship role, okay, well, what did it cost us? You know what I'm saying?
DSJ mentoring somebody? Who is he mentoring?
No, I'm just saying, as far as, you know, again, him being I guess a vet in the league. Let me rephrase that: a vet in the league.
Yeah, nah, we can't.
Yo, it's funny how cats treat Frank like a 4-year rookie, and DSJ is a vet.
Yeah, but ain't it crazy though? I mean, that's today's NBA. Hell, the fact of the matter is, we don't hardly have guys that want to stay longer than 1 year in college. So things change. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, yeah, that's exactly what they'll consider him. They'll consider him a vet because he's played beyond his rookie contract. I guess, you know what I mean? It's funny that way.
Watch DSJ.
Overall,
watch DSJ get
you know,
super
he's still
nice.
young enough, and
Watch DSJ get super nice.
That's fine.
But I wouldn't even really be mad at it. I salute the guy. I wouldn't even be mad at it.
I mean, not at all.
Sometimes you gotta find your place. Sometimes you gotta find home. Like, again, why I point to why Mook had his best season ever here. He was home. Y'all haters.
Yo, imagine
what we need right now. 3.
No, I'm not gonna lie. You know
right now.
I was mad when we got Mook because I was like, okay, well, if that was the case, so why'd you sign Randall?
Right now.
Yeah, Tibbs would have loved some Mook, man.
And Tibbs would love Mook.
God, yeah.
Nah, but I dig it. I'm not even mad anymore. I just yo.
Like I'm having a blast this season. Like the last two seasons were like real terrible. Like I was losing hope, and then like the ascension of the Nets, losing to losing out getting like KD and Kyrie. Like it was down real bad. So, but now like we don't know what's gonna happen, and like it'll be fun. It's just gonna be fun. So I'm okay with it. I like the direction we're going, man. I really do.
And Randall has been the biggest blessing. The biggest blessing in disguise.
Crazy.
Who thought? Man, yo, I was one of the people actually riding for Randall, and I never thought that he would be doing what he's doing right now. I know a lot of people say that, they expected it now, like, but I ain't hear nobody talking about like what Randall would be like. Randall's gonna be one of the better point forwards in the league. Like he's definitely gonna be doing his thing. Nah, nobody said that.
Not at all. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting on the second half of the season schedule just to see like because like it's gonna be easier and we're gonna
do we play the I heard we don't play the Lakers at all this year.
Oh man, that's why I'm hoping. That's actually why I'm hoping to see it because we play 72 games, so there's got to be some games that we don't play.
I heard we don't play the Lakers at all. Like there's some teams that don't even meet on East and West.
I would love that. What up, Freezy?
All right, what's good? I'm not for sure what's going on, Gi, with getting booted, man. I don't know what that is in terms of getting booted out of the in terms of getting booted out of the the studio. I'm not for sure. I'm not having an issue, but anyway, hey fellas, what else we got? Is that it?
We got it. Wait, when's the next game?
Tuesday.
Miami. Miami and Miami.
Yep.
Yeah, I want back seats on that, yo. I need that back. I need to get that back. We ain't lose to a team twice yet, yo. Like,
if we lose to Miami twice, back to back, I'm telling you, Tom Thibodeaux.
We good on the road too. That's been our thing. Like remember that used to be like a Knicks thing. Like we couldn't really get busy on the road.
Man,
we got to get that one back. We're not
gonna be able to fix, but we not gonna be able to fix this deficiency overnight because they was blitzing our point guards, and Derrick Rose. If Derrick Rose is the answer, we have a different question.
Back to
right. If Derrick Rose is the answer, we definitely have a different question.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey,
was good.
Hey, just want to say a couple things, man. I heard what y'all been saying, man. Yeah, Free Keith is a national treasure. Let me just say that. Free Keith is
Wait, what do I do now?
Hey, man, you are a instigator, B. Don't start.
I just like to speak my mind.
So what did I do? What'd you do? Okay, I got you. And I dig it. And Mo is very nice and complimentary. You know what I'm saying? Mo is very nice and very complimentary. You know what I'm saying? But if we lose to Miami tomorrow, I'm telling you, I have beef.
Like just like I felt like we should have lost to Chicago that first time. But like we came back, I was like, we better get that back.
This team is 9-14. What do we eat, man?
Yeah, punch that little Tyler Hero in his face. Like, you bugging out. Like, nah.
They blitzed us and went to zone. They showed a blitz aggressive up top, and if we beat it, they zoned out. So RJ Barrett had to work, and then it was like, you know how those movies you watch the dudes in the field be trying to climb up the wall to get inside the castle, and dudes is picking you off with those flaming arrows. That's what they was doing to us, and you can see the frustration that RJ Barrett's face.
But the ball wasn't dropping like it was in the first, that last quarter of basketball, like we couldn't get not one ball to drop, like from three, nothing, like, but all the same guys is hitting the whole game.
I hope Derrick plays. I hope he plays on Tuesday because like he's gonna solve a lot of those problems that we had, like breaking the zone, getting buckets late in the game. Like he's definitely gonna do that. Like he's just gonna solve those problems. His aggressiveness, man.
I'm sorry, Mo.
Upgrade to me, he's an upgrade on Elf. Like I personally would rather see like him at the starting spot and Elf, if we keep Elf as a backup, playing with Quigley, because I really like as much as I think Quigley is a point guard, I think he can actually he may be more valuable, like shooting the three for us on the two guard position.
Right. I think Quigley just offers us position flexibility.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, the reason why I think
he's working. I feel like he's working on his PG skills, but like he's a two guard.
Right. Right now because it's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Mitchell Robinson at 7 foot tall has baby hands. Mitchell Robinson is a 7 foot tall dude. With fifth grader hands.
Don't leave Noel out of that too. I don't even understand how what these dudes soak their hands in butter before the game. I don't understand how you can't hit you can't catch.
You can't catch a basketball
in your life is catch.
Right.
Like, babies is learning catch.
Right. And so what's bothering me is that Thibodeaux won't sit Mitch for Taj Gibson. Mitchell Robinson is the double-double that's not. You know what I'm saying? People are like, well, he's got the potential to be 10 and 13, except he's 7 and 8.
It's his presence, bro. It's his presence. Just look at how the game changes with him just being in the paint. Like it's He's probably one of the more like basketball intimidating guys on the team. Like, and so it's not often about his production; it's about the teams having to play differently to deal with him.
Right, and I don't dispute that, man. But what I dispute is that is on the offensive end. When teams go into zone, Mitchell Robinson is at the top of the key. What are you doing at the top of the key, Mitchell Robinson? You don't even shoot, and you're not screening. Mitchell Robinson, I need you to find your own, need to point your own self to the bench. I need you to take your own self out of the game, let Taj Gibson get some run. Because teams run that zone and Taj get in there, Taj is a zone buster. What that means is this. Taj will catch the ball, you have to collapse on Taj, and Taj can either knock down that 12-footer or pass the ball to somebody else when the defense collapses.
Taj will give you a 3.
Right, but Mitch,
the 10 and 12-footer that I was just talking about earlier. What?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But Mitch, first of all, Mitch is not a zone buster because in order to be a zone buster, you got to be able to catch a basketball. Right, you got to be able to catch a basketball in traffic. And Mitchell Robinson catching it in traffic? No.
Ain't
Mitchell Robinson
for that? Ain't there drills or something for that? Like,
hey man, you know.
Let me ask you a question, Big Uncle Freezy.
What's that, boss?
Was Joakim Noah a zone buster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, but during the time that he played, though, you teams wasn't allowed to play those zones. Now the NBA relaxed those rules. You know what I'm saying? Now these dudes that are super athletic, teams just go to zone, and people wonder why. People wonder why I don't want to pay a big man. Why pay a big man when you can't use them in certain situations? With guards and wings, you can use them in every situation.
But the zone is only useful against teams that don't shoot well.
Mm-hmm.
You're not so yes, your point. There's no value there's less value to the big man on a team with no shooters. You're right, because of the zone. But like, honestly, the problem isn't the big man. The problem is that team has no shooters.
Right.
That team has shooters. That big man immediately becomes more valuable.
Oh, we have shooters. We just don't have makers.
And now, Uncle Keith, Uncle Freezy, Uncle Keith brought up a great point. I'm sorry I came a little late, but I heard him say this, and it's a mind-boggling question. Like, why Mitch wasn't in the G League back and forth on his rookie season, just like Frank, where he could have developed more, because he didn't go to college, so he get no development and fundamentals of the game. You understand? He should have been in G League that first year in the season, back and forth, so he could develop accordingly. Keith brought a great point up about Mitch.
We wish Frank would have went to the G League. If Frank had gone to the G League, this is
Mitch
and Knox, right, and DSJ. And you know what? And to point out a few things, we'd be looking at a totally different development outcome if those guys could go to the G League and eat and build up their confidence and work on different looks offensively and defensively, right? I mean, totally. Y'all wonder why Iggy has this weird overconfidence. Iggy like, yeah, I feel like, I can score against anybody. Of course you do, dog. You've been killing G Leaguers, and you can't wait for your chance to prove that you can do it against NBA players. But everybody knows that you won't be able to do it against NBA players except you, right? Imagine Frank going and getting offensive confidence against G Leaguers in year 1 and 2, where Frank would be at in year 4. You know what I mean? I mean, Toronto sent Pascal Siakam down there. He was number 27 pick. They sent Norm Powell. They sent Fred VanVleet. They sent OG Anunoby. And then when you walk into their building, you see the Larry O'Brien trophy in there for 2019. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Come on, Knicks. What are we doing? Well, what are we doing? At some point, you have to sacrifice your ego for the sake of winning. Okay? Scott Perry, you don't want to send guys down because you drafted them and you don't want to look like you made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake, man. Sometimes dudes ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes dudes ain't ready. You know, I mean, and I'll tell you the story, and it's a little embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. So I had this crush on this girl, right? A Puerto Rican chick named Lisa, right? She was like 4 years older than me, and she was like 16. I was like 12. Every day she come outside, I was right in her face, like, Lisa, you know I'm the man for you. You know what I'm saying? them high school cats, they can't give you chocolate milks like I give you chocolate milks, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you my chocolate pudding. You know what I'm saying? She like chocolate.
You gonna give her that chocolate?
Yeah. So she like Uncle Freezy, chocolate pudding. I'm a grown woman, man. I'm 16. And I'm like, but I'm a really mature 12. I'm a really mature 12-year-old. And you are fine, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Her name was Lisa? Like Lisa?
Like Lisa. And she looked like her, except taller. But anyway, so one day we sitting on the stoop. I'm like spitting my A game. I'm like, yeah, baby, I can draw. I got a composition notebook. I can draw Spider-Man, Superman logo. Look at this girl. She like, you can draw, really? That's for 12-year-olds. I'm 16, Uncle Freezy. But I'm like, I love you, girl. So she bend over. So she reach over and she kissed me in the mouth with her tongue. And I'm 12. And I'm like, whoa! I'm not ready. I thought I was ready, but I need to go to the G League.
Okay.
I need to go to the G League. Because this ain't quite what I was ready. I need to go to the G League, baby. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was ready for the playoffs. No, I need some G League time. She looked at me. She told me, she was like, I told you wasn't ready. And I was like, you know what, Lisa? I ain't ready right now. But in 4 years, I will be ready. You know what I'm saying? So I tell these stories and stuff, and I know I be embarrassing myself. And sometimes y'all be like, this dude, Uncle Freezy, has lived a weird life. Yo.
No, it's great analogies.
But you know what though? When she did that, I was like, what a 12-year-old girl's at. You know what I'm saying? Because I was not ready. Because 16-year-old girls and 12-year-old boys think differently. You know what I mean? And so for the cats that we draft that feel like they ready, sometimes you're not ready. Sometimes you need the G League to get your bearings. You
right, but she taught you something, right? And when these young boys ain't ready, they get taught something.
It's the adults in the room that need to take the action, bro.
Right.
Of course, you don't want to go to the G League. You're 19, like everybody else. We've already promoted the G League like it's some big negative thing, like, which I think is stupid. But whatever. I really wish the NBA would kind of like change the whole. Like that should be out. Like every team should have a G League team, and it should be a minor league, like for real.
And this
like, that's what you go if you're a teenager. Unless you're Kobe. Huh?
Hey. So sooner than screen pay, like Uncle Freezy told that Lisa story to say what? Dog, if you don't get it, then I'm sorry. What you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is sometimes you're not ready for what you think you are ready for. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you're ready and you project readiness. And sometimes you can convince others that you're ready. But in the moment of truth, sometimes you're just not ready. Sometimes it's just too much for you. And you got to take a step back and reevaluate and then get ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about our guys. The thing with Mitch not being able to catch a basketball against a zone, come on, dog. Come on. And teams have been doing it to us all year. All year long, teams are like, oh, y'all want to get out and y'all want to run this offense? We're going to zone up. Now what you going to do? Right? We're going to zone up. Now what you going to do? And our offense always come to a screeching halt because we're not ready to do anything. Because we don't have the available skills to do it. Mitchell Robinson at the top of the key does what? What does Mitchell Robinson at the top of the key do for our offense?
Look to get rid of the ball.
Right. Look to be in the way. That's it. Because even if you pass Mr. Ball at the top of the key, no defense is respecting his three-pointer. No team is respecting his passing ability. You know what I'm saying? No team is respecting Mitch off the dribble. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. I mean, the thing I was getting to is something we got to give Taj get some more minutes because Taj can at least threaten the defense. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
situational.
Yeah. I'm not saying that my man is deficient across the board. What I'm saying is Mitchell Robinson is the double that's not really. You know what I'm saying? Like we look at him like he's 12 points and 10 rebounds, but he's actually more like 8 and 8.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, we talk about his defense, and I get it. But when your offense is capped at 102.5, and other teams know once they get to 103 they win, you got to make an adjustment. Like Miami legit, like we legit lost. We scored 103 points, right? Miami was like, yo, once we get them to 103, we know they can't score. That's out of they're out of their element.
I don't know if I agree that it's that simple because like that would be like saying that Portland intended to score less than 100 when they normally average 116 points.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that don't sound like them being too concerned about us getting to 103.
Right. Except they were hurt, had a lot of injuries.
Nah, stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that. Don't do that. We hurt.
Nah, man.
We got a lot of injuries. Stop it. Everybody got injuries. That's not no.
But we don't have dudes with fractured feet.
Come on, man. We got fractured groins. We got
the Frank thing.
What else we got? We got toes. We got knees. What Noel got? Noel got a shoulder something right now.
Yeah. Hey, but go ahead, Chuck.
So should Mitch start attempting that shot until they tell him, until someone yells from the sideline, like no? Because when I asked earlier about Noah's jumper was awful looking. But if he was open, he took the shot, whether he made it or not. So sometimes you got to make yourself a threat. If they're not going to play, if we were playing pickup basketball, I know it's different. It's different than the NBA game, so don't kill me in the chat. But if you're wide open, Uncle Freezy, yo, shoot that. Shoot it. If you don't make it, they at least know that, yo, he's gonna take the shot. And if he takes 3 of them, he might hit 1 of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not expecting Mitch to be Anthony Davis or anything like that. I agree that we should his strength is his athleticism on the defensive end. So I think if he masters that, then the other stuff will eventually come. And he should have a longer leash because, as Free Keith said earlier, that athleticism just doesn't come along all the time, especially in that body type. You know what I mean? Even if Mitch only averages 10 points and 10 rebounds for the rest of his career, we got him in the second round. Now, everybody in the second round don't end up being a joker. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get it. Everybody in the second round doesn't turn into Michael Redd. Everybody in the second round doesn't turn out to be Lou Williams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the second round doesn't turn into Jokic or Nurkic. Right. What I'm saying is when the Knicks in the second round usually draft Josh Harrelson's, Andy Routens, Cle Anthony Early's in the second round. And we finally feel like we hit on a guy in Mitchell Robinson, right? But at some point, we have to stop looking at him as a second round pick and start looking at him as a guy that has been able to develop in his 3rd season in the NBA. He should be able to catch a basketball
and stay on his feet,
and stay on his feet. Now I know Mitch has some injuries because you can tell the way he runs now that he doesn't run like a gazelle right now. and it's probably because he's banged up. But what I'm saying, dog, this is what I'm saying.
Getting thrown around.
Yeah. What I'm saying, dog, is this. Hey, can you just focus on one thing, Mitch? Like I understand it's defense right now. I understand. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see it. Hey, I see. Oh, so still I'm jumped out. So my point was, Mitch has to do something on offense, because when teams zone up against us and it's 4-on-5, we really in a spot where you're in a no win situation. You're playing against the zone and you're doing it with 4 players against 5 players. It's the reason why we didn't want Frank on the court when Frank was young. Well, Frank is still young. The Frank could still say Frank is 19. But anyway, the fact that Mitch can't catch a ball in traffic and become a threat, that means we're not going to get those open looks. Like if Mitch can catch the ball and collapse the defense and kick out, then your shooters will have a better opportunity to knock down some shots. I'm almost to a point where when teams go to zone, I would rather Randall play center.
Because he could shoot
and catch a ball and pass
and space the floor.
But my fear is when Randall, if we do that and put Obi at the 4, my deal is when we do that, teams won't go to zone. They'll play man. You know what I'm saying? And then it defeats the purpose. But maybe if Obi played bigger, you move Randall to the 5. And listen, I'm not a fan of moving Randall anywhere. I say let him thrive in his current role. But if we move Randall to the 5 against teams that want to zone up against us, and show 3 guards instead of 2, like maybe do Quick, D Rose, RJ, Obi, Mitch, right? You know what I mean? Maybe that's a look that we need to show teams. But Tom Thibodeau is not going to do that. Tom Thibodeau is not going to adjust with personnel because he's not going to be willing to sacrifice his darling on the opposite end of the floor. He's not going to be willing to sacrifice his defense on the opposite end of the floor. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna put his baby out there like that. He ain't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you, man, we lose a lot of close games. These games we lose, man, we don't lose by 10, 12, 20 points. Most nights. When we lose, it's like 8 points. We close, it's a game down the stretch. And we either run out of gas or teams just stretch on us down the stretch when we try to catch up. We have to foul them, and then they go hit those useless free throws at the end of the game that pad the final score total. But we have to make some type of adjustment.
Let me ask you a question, Unc. Remember how, like last season, Fizdale was bringing in some old school vets to work with the players, and I know Tibbs definitely coached Marcus Camby. I mean, you think it's because of Corona that when we back in New York, or they in Terrytown, they bring in Camby to come work with him, give him some pointers, show him some moves. You think it's because of Corona that's not happening, or I would like to see Camby come and work with Mitch Noels.
I would like to see them go work with Olajuwon.
Yo, give Kenny Payne. Give him some time, bro. Give him some time. Give him and Mike Woodson some time, yo. Mitch is in good hands, bro. Mitch is in great hands.
But his hands don't look like he's in good hands.
His hands ain't in great hands.
Right. My man legit, no lie, my man legit needs one of those. Y'all ever been up late at night and the infomercials come on? And you like, I never even considered that being a problem. Like for instance, I watched the infomercial one night, and it was like, you ever have cheese stick to your frying pan, and they like go on for like an hour about non-stick pans and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I saw one time about dribbling the basketball. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of thing. some coach's cure to get you, and they show some kind of gadget. You got all these kind of things all over you, and it's supposed to improve your handle. And I also saw like some things you put on your sneakers to make you jump higher or whatever. I wonder if they have something like that for hand-eye coordination for Mitch. Something, because Mitch needs something. Because the only time we can pass the ball to him in the post is a lob. Y'all notice that? Have y'all noticed that?
No, you're right.
Because Frank used to bounce pass it to Mitch, and Mitch used to fumble it, and by the time he would go up, man, the defense is already recovered. And so you wonder why Frank only averages 2 assists a game? That's part of the reason. You know what I'm saying? You hit somebody off with a nice bounce pass in the paint, and they fumble the ball. I mean, man, me and Mitch's hands we have a beat.
That goes back to what Keith said. Mitch should have been in the G League his first season, back and forth, getting that fundamentals that he lacked and missed from going to college, if you will.
Is it too late though? Then what's Nerlens' excuse?
Right.
They got the same butterfingery ass approach to the ball.
you gonna make me fire some cafeteria workers. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Remember how LeBron used to do the powder in the air? They just dipping their hands in melted butter.
Right. They do it with melted butter. They need to powder up. Like they definitely need to powder up.
Yeah, man. And so I'm almost to the point, man. I'm almost to the point where I'm willing to trade both of these dudes.
Like that.
Wait, you willing to trade Mitch?
Yep. Oh, yep. And Noel, man.
Noel, I could understand, but Mitch, at least he's still a work in progress.
Mitch is 8 points and 8 rebounds, man.
With Mitch, is more than just the points, man. Like teams got to play totally differently when Mitch is on the court. Like Mitch is present. There's certain players that just like their presence makes you have to actually like figure them in a whole different way. Mitch is one of those guys, like you can't just think that you running your plays into the paint and not having to figure Mitch in. Like he's changing game plans for teams, and I dig that. Like there's a benefit to that.
He's an intimidating factor on the court. Like
and
not
like he's a bully, but like, yeah, Chop, like that's exactly it.
Right.
Like basketball wise, his basketball presence is intimidating. Like you gotta be able to account for it. Cause like he could not be on you and you at the 3-point line and all of a sudden like your joint is getting swatted.
Right.
You gotta account for that, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what if we moved Noel to Houston for Boogie?
Oh, I would be in love. Boogie is definitely, that's another one of those guys with the spirit that I like. And if y'all see what he's doing this season, I ain't even going to see. Cats was kicking my back in like, oh, he's always injured. We shouldn't pick him up. I was like, yo, we could have got Boogie for pennies.
Well, his contract and Noel's contract are the same.
Yo, they're not getting rid of Boogie. You bugging right now if you think they're peeling Boogie away from him.
Right.
Right. And he's back with his homie from college.
John Wall.
Yo, and he's back to doing this. He's doing the same numbers. And now Woods is injured and Boogie getting busy.
But his presence would have been felt amongst the fans and the teammates in the locker room, on the court.
One of those New York, he got that attitude.
And it will rub off. You know how they say when you rub shoulders with rich people, you want to be rich. Like that would have rubbed off on all the other players. Like, no, Mitch, you soft. He'd have been like, yo, you soft. You know what I mean? Like that attitude, his presence would have helped elevated the other players or motivate them.
Remember, it was one game where Mitch went off. Like he went nuts last season. Like I think he had some crazy stat line. And then like the interview after, he was like, yeah, like Mook and Randall was making fun of me in practice. They was making fun of me in practice, and he just went off during the game.
You see? Right. Because they was giving him constructive criticism.
It was
step up, young fella.
Soft. They were saying I was too soft in practice.
Right. No doubt, man. The thing with Boogie, man, is I don't know how long his body can take it.
But how long do you need him to really take it for that to rub off on Mitch to actually be with a guy for a few months or a year to learn some post moves, to learn this is where you gotta drop your feet when you're in defense. This is what you need to do to become the zone buster. Like that's way better than having a guy that does the same exact thing he does, but just maybe 4 years older, who don't do it as well either. Because that's exactly what Noel is.
Noel's he giving him nothing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Taj is back.
Right.
Like DeAndre came, look how Mitch changed. You know what I'm saying? Like started doing all those many things that DeAndre was doing. Like, yo, like give him somebody he could emulate.
I would prefer to just go get a starter. I think Mitch is a bench big right now.
I give you that though. I do think he's a bench big right now, but like I could see somebody be in front of him, but not for more than a season or so.
Yeah.
And if that was to happen, I think he's gonna go back to Twitter like, such and such.
Yeah.
I don't think so because it was fans actually. He wasn't bugging about starting. He actually said he was comfortable coming off the bench. It was fans who wanted him to start.
Oh,
I'm putting a lot of stuff on Mitch that like, come on, man, that dude is not that guy.
He's still immature.
Very much so.
Straight up.
How long do you have to wait for a dude to grow up though?
Mm-hmm. How long they wait for Wiggins?
I
don't know.
Wiggins is balling this year now.
Exactly, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like people were saying his head wasn't in it.
Yeah, because Wiggins might be all NBA defense this year.
Wow. I'm not even following him, but for real, wow.
Yes.
My point.
All right, so what did Colin Perry said about Kevin Knox? And he still ain't. It said 3 years. Just basically 3 years, right? Give him 3-4 years.
No, he said 3-4 years.
Yeah, I don't trust Calipari, man. I just don't trust Calipari.
I do. I think he was dead on. Like Knox's mental got to come. Like he didn't say it, but like Knox got to mature. That's really what the 3-4 years was about. I'm actually 100% in agreement with him. Like it's just that whether we want to wait or not. That's really what it is. Like the only thing about Knox that got to come along is his mental.
Right. So by Tibbs giving him that tough love and DNPing him, it might give him that, yo, you know what? I got to step up. I got to get my together.
Yeah, you can't coddle. You can't coddle that kind of attitude.
Right.
So I'm not gonna give you minutes until you snap out that joint. It's not gonna be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I would just prefer to do this, man. I would even consider Mitch Knox and something for Andrew Wiggins.
Okay.
For Andrew Wiggins? That's too many guards.
No,
man. Wiggins was started the small forward from day one.
Yeah.
And he's used to Tom Thibodeau's system already.
And how tall is Wiggins for him to play the small forward?
6'7".
6'7".
Oh, 6'7". Okay, 6'7", 6'8". You could play the small forward. Right. Okay. But then I don't want to throw Mitch in there. We could throw Noel's in there.
Yeah, I'd rather throw Noel if we can.
I would rather throw.
And another second round pick.
Hey man,
now though, like 2023.
Yeah, one of them older ones, the later ones. Yeah.
What about Mitch to Cleveland for JaVale McGee?
Why are you trying to get rid of Mitch? No,
because Mitch has baby hands. Yeah, So I would rather Shaq in the fool every night versus a dude that can't catch a basketball.
And I mean, I kind of dig JaVale, but like not now.
Yo, I would rather have JaVale McGee. And so in case y'all hadn't noticed, I'm throwing out just about anybody's name for Mitchell Robinson right now.
All right, wait. What's that drill we run when you run it up and down the court? That's not suicide when you passing the ball back and forth.
That's a figure eight. You run a figure eight. Right.
You keep running that with him. Even the bounce. You gotta. I don't know if they doing that with him or
he can work on his hands.
Hey man, my man's hands are. Hey,
so he's
so
that
let's
tall
go.
with small fingers, is what you saying? His fingers.
Now, what I'm saying is, man, I understand where y'all are coming from about the just don't throw away Mitch, and some of this is tongue in cheek, and some of it is real frustration, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of this is real frustration. I'm not coming on here to troll y'all. I'm telling you, we watched this dude fumble the basketball like.
And you know what? You're right. Look at the picks he was setting yesterday, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And look at the picks that Taj was setting.
Right.
Like he just right. I saw Randall got mad. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He like picked the dude in the back. Who was that? Covington in the back, and then ran off, and that was a foul. Right. It's the fundamental part of it as well, besides the hands.
And
he lacks
and
that
it's year
fundamental.
3. And it's year 3. It's not halfway through year 1. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about Mitch can't set screens since year 1.
But some of this has to be with the development staff we had in the past, i.e. Fizdale and whoever they had on the staff before that. Alluding to what Keith said, he should have went to the G League as well.
Well, no, my point about the G League was that he didn't go.
Right.
That he was able to, like, that he was deemed to be so important that he needed to be on the court, which really, like, he did, even in his short stints.
Right. And so I understand that because I remember the Jason Smith years. Remember Jason Smith? Like Jason Smith was the pommel horse for us. If you wanted to get on ESPN, get in the ISO with Jason Smith. So ESPN can show Jason Smith get dunked on all night long. ESPN top 10, Jason Smith is in there 2 times. Right?
All night long.
Right. And so I know y'all remember the Cole Aldridge years, where Cole Aldridge used to try to tip the ball to himself and kept tipping the ball in the other team basket. We like, why is this dude? Why is Cole Aldridge showing up on the other team box score? Because he scored 4 points for them. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know y'all remember Kevin Seraphin, the French dude wearing number 1. Yeah,
Seraphin.
The dude on the only time there was like, but he's so fast and athletic and skilled. And the only time you see that is when he's got a wide open dunk. But guess what? NBA centers don't always get wide open dunks. I mean, come on. I know y'all remember Luke Cornett.
Oh my God.
Luke Cornett, the worst defensive player to ever breathe breath. Luke Cornett had a picture, a poster of Enes Kanter playing defense on his wall. That's how bad Luke Cornett was. You know what I'm saying? But Luke Cornett could shoot the 3, right?
Yeah, he
But
could.
unfortunately, at the time we had Luke Cornett, we also had another 7-foot dude that could shoot 3s. Who is going to be our big? Luke Cornett.
So you calling Mitch Chris Dudley?
No, I'm saying Mitch is year 3 Rudy Gobert. Right? That's what I'm calling him.
Rudy Gobert is better than him in year 3.
No.
I mean, score. Oh, you mean defensive wise?
Look at the dude. Like, look at the numbers. Like, he's not.
They're comparable. They're the same. They're the same player.
Like, and if even only he ends up being like this version of Gobert, that's cool. Wasn't he a defensive player of the year or something? Or
yes, Rudy Gobert. Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with him developing into the Gobert if that's all he's gonna give us.
Was that because of blocks and rebounds, and that was it?
No, everything is similar except Mitch and his crazy self let his free throw percentage go down by like 10 points.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So you like Mitch, how you was terrible last year and you come back worse. Mitch, come on.
So where's Tyson Chandler at? Can we give up Noels and somebody else for him?
I think Tyson Chandler's out of the league.
He's out of the league? Oh, I mean, just to be a mentor and show him, teach him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think now with COVID protocols, I don't know. I don't know what it'd be like to bring in, and I think the perfect guy for us during free agency would have been Dwight Howard, right?
I've heard people say that, but like, I kind of, I dig it in theory. I don't really like him.
Yeah.
No, but him and Rondo in the offseason, that probably would have been good for the team.
Right. It would have been great for Quickly and great for Mitch.
Right.
Oh, Rondo playing with Quickly would be
Right. And so my thing is with a Dwight Howard. If you remember DeAndre Jordan's effect on Mitch for that short stretch, right? If you remember that, can you imagine what the number 1 pick in the draft from 2004, NBA champion? You know what I'm saying? If you can imagine what that impact would be for Mitch, it's a. But
that's one of the question though. You have to question that because they both jokers. They're gonna be just joking around instead of working out and practicing. They like to joke around
until Dwight Howard dunk on him in practice and shove him out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you remember the Matrix analogy that I showed you on the roof where the Sentinels finally cornered Neo on the roof, and they were like Mr. Anderson, right? and Neo was like, oh, I don't have nowhere else to go. I have to finally stand and fight. And the Sentinels was like cracking their knuckles. They're like, we gonna put this beating on you, until they find out that the Matrix was actually Neo and not them. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole movie, we thought they controlled the Matrix. We didn't know the Matrix was actually Neo.
Right.
And they were in Neo's reality. Neo was not in their reality. And so the Sentinels didn't find that out until the moment of truth. When the moment of truth arrived, when they were shooting those bullets at Neo, and Neo could see the bullets come out the gun before they fired. You know what I'm saying? And then when they were trying to punch Neo and they couldn't, and Neo was like looking at their fists and stuff before they did all their moves, and Neo finally hit them back, and they were like, ouch, nobody ever hit us like that before. Yeah.
No disrespect to Mitch. He would never have that mentality.
Well, I mean, neither did Neo. Neo didn't have it until the moment of truth, remember?
Right.
Neo didn't know. Neo thought he was in their reality. He was going through doors, like dive through this phone cord, go through this door, turn here, do such and such, like, because he thought he was in their reality. But the thing is they were actually in his. And to the credit of the movie, if we had known that at the beginning of the movie, we wouldn't have watched it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the thing is, so I'm saying the thing with Dwight Howard is now, you know what I'm saying? Dwight Howard was probably one of the most athletic centers that we've ever seen in his prime. I'm saying, right?
Right.
And Mitch is definitely one of the most athletic centers we've ever had. Maybe the most athletic center that we've ever had. I mean, I challenge anybody to find a more athletic center on the Knicks roster since you've been watching than Mitch Robinson.
So you say he's going to need a dose of reality to wake up from his, or to mature up. Something that's going to tell him like, yo.
What I'm saying is he needs something to trigger him to flip the switch, right? But once the switch is flipped, we'll have something. But man, Uncle Freezy is getting frustrated waiting on this dude to flip the switch. You know what I'm saying? I'm frustrated. Just like I'm frustrated with Frank Ntilikina. People are saying, man, but when he flips the switch, man, there's going to be something. Just give Frank 3 more years, man. And when he flips the switch, dog, I ain't got 3 more years, man. I don't have 3 more years to wait on Frank. Right? I don't have 2 more years to wait on Mitchell Robinson to become Rudy Gobert. I want to win right now, man. I want to win right now. I don't care nothing about down the road. I don't care about 2023 draft picks. I don't care about Amani Bates. I don't care about LeBron James Jr. I don't care about none of this. I want to win right now, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not contributing to winning right away, then you in the way.
So is Derrick Rose gonna make him better? I don't know if y'all talked about him yet.
Has Derrick Rose made anyone better?
I'm just asking.
I think the competition will be good.
What competition? As far as the teams play competition against other teams, or
yeah, like having to play at a certain level because there are guys at a certain level. Like when there are more guys at a certain basketball level on the team, it forces everybody to have to, at the very least, if you want to be, you know what I'm saying, like be able to run with the team, like you have to step up to their level of gameplay.
Right.
Alfred Payton.
What?
No, you said it's gonna make everybody else better. Alfred Payton.
To me, my issue with Elf, like my issue with Elf is consistency.
He can't shoot.
Well, it's not even he can't shoot.
I had to bring it up because
y'all know that's the rocket my shoe. That's why
he can't shoot and like will still pull out a 20-point game. You know, a 20-point game. Very, you know, I just feel like, and again, if you look at the numbers, like the games where he's good, we win the most. Those are the most of the wins. Like the games where he's actually good. It's just the fact that he's so up and down. You can't depend on what he's going to give you.
You don't know what you're going to get every other night from him. Right.
And that's what I prefer about Rose. Like I am confident that I'm getting my like 15 to 20 points.
Right.
I think he's going to conduct the offense a little bit more sturdier and accordingly and better than Payton. He might even chew Mitch out on the floor like, yo, he's supposed to go right here.
I mean, I respect it, but I don't think it's about even conducting the offense. I don't think he's that type of point guard. I think it's going to be guys out there running.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is going to be like the offense is going to pick up.
Because Payton is more of a slower pace point guard than
like he's setting stuff. He's a half court set point guard.
Yes, right, a half court set. Right,
I'm gonna set up the play. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I appreciate that because Rondo and those players, those point guards like Rondo are the point guards that I kind of appreciate. Like I like that kind of like heady point guard. Like run the friggin' team. That's your role.
Right.
So I think the thing that we're missing right now, man, no lie.
Okay.
The thing that we're missing, right, and it's glaring, is a big man that can shoot. If we had a big man that can shoot, all of this conversation we're having is over, right? Because teams can't zone you up when you can have 3 or 4 shooters on the floor at the same time at different levels, right? They can't zone up because that's a shooter's paradise. You know what I'm saying? A team going to zone with shooters on the floor. That's the dream scenario, right? That's the dream because the basketball moves faster than the man, right? But Mitch can't shoot and he can't catch, right? He's got weak hands. But hey, y'all, I need to wrap it up, man, so I can go ahead and work on some other stuff, man. Get some sleep real quick, and so I can jump back on and do some other stuff, man. So thank you to everybody that jumped on. Free Keith, you are an instigator. I'm just saying that.
I learned from the best.
Okay, touche, my brother, touche. Hey, thanks to everybody in the virtual chat, man. Hey, I see some of y'all questions. We just didn't have time to get to them. But I promise we'll do better tomorrow. I see some people in the chat, man. David Nova, Gino, I saw your question. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get to it tomorrow or tonight. Thanks everybody from coming through. We'll holler at y'all, man, later. Peace.
Drop the beat. Drop the intro for the outro.
You want me to drop? Okay. Here
I
we go.
need that.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken the truth